prey that you have on your team.
Hold up.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I think like you look at these numbers and they really are almost exactly the same realistically, right? Like at the end of the day, if you're around up or down. And it's really fine margins that separate these two players. I think that Fair is also like stepping up big here, considering this is
up, y'all?
Comes mainly like
what's up,
the
dog?
collegiate scene. Has played on a couple of other like pug teams prior, but doesn't have as deep of a pool of experience that he's pulling from, and is definitely like a young gun rookie to be looking out for here. And I think that again, it does come back to the supporting line between these two teams, right? I think for Paint, there's a lot more experience when it comes down to the support that he's going to be receiving. And then for Fair, we've seen glimmers of that brilliance coming out from the initiators on the side of Blueotter, but are still lacking a little bit of that consistency, I think, when it does come to making those plays. But either way, both these players, two to definitely look out for in the server, and they're insane openers to have for your team. I'm looking forward to head-to-head.
I mean, let's talk about a warm-up. You know, there's no warm-up. We're sending you right in to some of these insane banger matches, quintessential Valorant. And of course, it's an elimination match. We live for the drama. We live for the moment. But we do have some map picks and bans for you right away moving forward. And it's a duelist paradise to begin with Pearl. Then we move into Haven. They're big maps. I mean, maybe we'll end on Ascent, maybe Ash. But right away, I'm noticing the Pearl and the Haven. That is a lot of space for these duelists.
I like it.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think when my eyes get drawn over to these two maps as well, it's both these teams run different.
What's up, Divine?
What's up? Back to the conversation that we were having previously, the expectation is that Paint's going to be pulling out the Yoru, and then for Blueotter, they've been running that Jet. And I think it's tough because you look at the fact that these teams have somewhat similar map pools, minus the fact that with Haven being left open, SRB are very confidently taking advantage of that second map pick, seeing the results that Blueotter have had on that previously, not being able to take a single map of Haven during stage 2 so far. So Pearl is going to be incredibly important for Blueotter to stay alive.
I think they have the leg up too with Pearl. They've gotten enough reps. They've stayed solidified to this particular composition of, you know, I'm hoping they stick to it because then I look like a fool. The Astra Jet, right, Sova. And so I do think Pearl, like Ash said, this is detrimental for them. I think Blueotter definitely have maybe the Pearl in the bag, especially with, you know, defense being such a pivotal, place. It's so hard to keep the sights on defense and to really keep yourself very solidified. But I think that's one of the things that a lot of people can't do that Blueotter can. And I think their defense is so incredibly strong. So for me, for Pearl, I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, how exactly they can kind of switch Shopify Rebellion and make them turn into that submissive role.
Well, if anything, if I may play devil's advocate for a hot second, switching up your comp, not making you look like a fool, Gompers, but making your prep look, like they've changed something, if you will, is something that you don't really want to do in an elimination match, you know, especially if like you're not sure if it's going to work, or you're not sure it's going to trip them up the way you think it is.
Okay.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as the
Tweet
old
out.
goes.
There we go.
Gompers. And here it just might not quite
you.
be the right move to switch it up. So like to your point, the Astra Jet works. They shouldn't really be changing it, Gompers.
Yeah. I think it really is, of course, like if you VOD review enough, you know, you can really start to get like the iterations that teams typically do, repetitions and all of that stuff. But again, it's all about placement. It's all about game sense. It's all about, you know, taking advantage of your strategy to the best of your ability. So even if they do VOD review, right, do it right back.
You like that, Nick?
And if that's, you know, a circumstance as to, let's prep for if they know our strats, you know, always have something, you know, in the backhand and always keep innovating and making things better. But for me, I think keeping it the same and just what you've been doing before might actually be what's best.
I do want to highlight the Ascent pick because that will be a waylay, and we might have just
Mr. Placha. What's up?
Oh no! For SRB, if this is indeed
true,
then we've cursed them. Even Shift Tenrec joining us on the SRB.
Not like this.
Train. I will get a very angry message from ECJ once again. But Ash, I think there's something to be said that like even with all of this, you know, this is not the SRB that we expected. This is not the SRB that like we wanted to have here. We're all believing in them, Ash.
I think that there's a reason to believe in them, right? And I think that the hope comes from the fact that they're building off of momentum from their last win that they just found and are able to turn over a new leaf and show the face.
What's up, young goat moves?
Stage 1. Sorry, I'm still looking at the predictions and I'm like, yo, if Sean is watch partying right now, he's like, they've done it. They've done it. If they've done it. We're all getting angry messages.
He's in the corporate Slack being like, you guys will never believe what they did.
But
sorry, Sean.
We're sorry. Our apologies. But
no one is forgiven. No one is forgiven.
Kind of foolish not to be gunning for them, I think, in this head-to-head. And that's not to say that Blueotter don't have what it takes to catch SRB out, but I think also looking at how that map veto just went. Guys, we did the predictions before the map veto, just saying. But looking at how that map veto went, Pearl and Haven are extremely strong contenders for SRB as well. This is a matchup that I think they should have in the bag. They're a great team that knows how to handle things when their backs are.
What did I say on Plot Chat?
Well, to be fair, I was asked
I
a
don't
second
even
ago
remember.
because I'm an emergency sub-host, and I still said SRB. So that belief that we're talking about is still there, regardless of the map pick, regardless of whatever it is. I listen, and maybe I don't want to have BCJ angry in my DMs once again. And because I've done that once, and he did not talk to me for 3 days.
Oh, I know
But
what
that's
this
okay.
is.
You know, because Brendan
I
has a
know.
game to play right now against Blueotter, and I'm
Won't know
seeing in
until
chat.
later.
We'll deal with it later. I'm seeing in chat. I'm looking at your predictions right now. There are a lot of votes,
Thrifty
a lot of channel
doing
points going
planning
towards
the same
Blueotter.
shit.
So, this isn't
So
to
like
say
this
that
is how
it's
you
your
do it.
predictions
If you
because
want to
we're on
kill
the side
yourself,
of Chuck
this is how you
Bryan
fucking do it.
and,
Like
it's not going to
Thrifty
be, you know,
doing
cakewalk
planning
strategy.
the
Hopefully, but it was what we
context.
I don't think-
Context
I don't
matters.
think
Context
anyone are
does
expecting a
indeed matter.
blowout either way. Now we are moving in.
I don't ignore YouTube, by the
select.
way.
Now Gompers, right away, you said please don't change anything. Please
Nothing's
don't
even been
change
said in
anything.
YouTube, I don't think.
And looks like they listened? Question mark.
No, I love this. I think their bias on Fireball is actually phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to everyone actually seeing how, you know, Fireball works in cohesion with Fair. Again, it's odd. Like, oh, the Sentinel and cohesion with the Jet. Like that's
Okay. Paint on the Neil. Let's go. Lou.
So
No way late. Let's go.
I think they start off so
Okay.
well with the composition, with the same composition that they've been working before.
Yeah, I think that we're looking over towards the likes of SRB, the fact that they also make this change to their composition, and this is like the third duelist now that Paint's going to be running on on Pearl. He's running the Waylay at one point, he was running the Yoru at one point, and I do like the idea there, you know, trying to catch Blueotter off guard.
I'm glad you liked it.
Especially being able to have
I was trying to
this
throw Emmy a
ability
lot of
to
questions
run. Paint is
that
one of the
like
best runs within
would
this league.
let
And I think this
him give us like a lot of insight.
him to shine. Though
I was like really throwing some
curveballs
curveballs Emmy's way, like on the fly, like asking him about scrims and shit. It's like, ooh, I hope he doesn't like get upset about this. And I was also being a little bit confrontational. Oh fuck, I got Mike.
It kind of nullifies like some of like your utility in that sense, and I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about it.
I actually fully agree. I didn't even think about the factor of, you know, whether or not KJ would
Not
be
much, dude. Just
such a
nervous
pivotal
out here.
sentinel, but alongside
Just
Paint,
nervous.
like with Neon,
What was
I mean,
the veto?
I guess
I
it's
didn't
more
get to see
so
it, yeah.
just my opinion, but I think Neon
Pearl,
and Paint
this
is, like,
is their pick.
a
Going
crazy
Haven, and
circumstance
then
to be in,
Ascent.
especially
third.
like when things are so
pretty
cutthroat.
good maps
Because
for you
Paint, when
guys.
they're like on,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they are just on it. The aggression is insane. It almost feels like you're just in a room where all the walls are closing in, and honestly, you can't do anything. Like you just have to wait.
Yeah, I was trying
to finally finish. And
I don't know.
For me, I think Paint is going to be so.
It's like
dimensional with,
since I'm
you know,
broadcast
so many
talent for so long, like coming from CS, like something that Carmack told me like early on when I did a desk with Pimp in CS was that we were both too agreeable. And so ever since that day, I make sure that when I have a point, I always will like if I have a point that goes against my fellow like desk mates, I will say it. Like I am not afraid of it because honestly, from a viewer perspective, it feels good to hear both sides, right? Like even if I'm on the wrong, right? I will do it. Cuz I think it draws out a better explanation from the other side. And two, it allows me to voice the concern of the other side. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think it's, yeah, it just makes for a more entertaining product. Yeah. I hate being very agreeable. Like, I think being too agreeable is boring as fuck. I think if there's like 3 people that are just circle jerking each other, just like, oh, I agree. Like, that's no fun. Like, I don't know. You're kind of just setting a narrative. That's all you're doing.
Sean Garris alone.
What the
Cut
fuck?
the cams. Cut the cams.
Cut the cams. Oh my god, no! We can't do it like this. Something I do want to highlight that you guys were talking about a little bit was kind of this going back to the KJ, but as well as the Vise. I'm gonna ask you, Gombers, to talk about this a little bit more because you said earlier the KJ is not it's fallen out of the meta, right? It's not that she's bad. It's just you have agents like Vise who have that global utility, have that flash, who are so versatile. But Pancake's going back to the KJ. Kind of going back to that, comfort pick. He hasn't played it in a hot second. But we're not seeing the Vise, we're seeing the KJ instead.
Sometimes, low-key chat, sometimes I'll actually, if I feel like the desk has been too agreeable, like all day, or like just all the topics that I'm doing on like a podcast all day, like I lead or whoever leads, like I have a very similar opinion. Sometimes I'll literally just go against the grain, even though I don't fully believe in it, just because I'm aware of the other perspective. I do that too, yeah. I just think it makes for such a better product than like a bunch of people going like, yeah, I completely agree. Okay, next point. It's like, all right. I don't know. I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I know what I like, and I don't know. That's what Carmack told me a long time ago, and it really like stuck with me, truthfully.
Yeah. Shift, my arch nemesis, and my best friend Tenric.
Well, that's tough, honestly. I don't remember ever saying anything about being a nemesis. I was just, sassing it up a little bit. All right, let's get this thing going. Blueotter, shop fire.
Like, I love it, me.
I'm Shift. This is
sometimes
Tenric.
I can feel a little abrasive. I know.
I'll just say it straight up. I'm curious to see if you're just going to shoot me down here, 10. This feels like Shopify Rebellion just going back to like the old antiquated, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type comp.
You're right on the money, dude. That's exactly what I was going to say.
This
is
bread
a team
chat
that has been known just a little more than Blueotter for going against the current meta grain and paint back on Neon as the perfect symbolism of that. Trying the way layout, shifting over to the Yoru, trying to fit with what so many teams have been going with, the invasiveness that Yoru gets to possess in this Sentinel heavy meta. But he's just too good at Neon, man. He's just too good at it, and he wants to flex those muscles again. Very same
I like
thing.
that we move
Goes
paint
for
to
fair,
Neon.
continuing to play on that jet,
I like that.
on that raise on the mid range as well. He continues to deny that Yoru pick as well, and he's continued to put up the stats that Paint does this split.
So our Pearl,
Regardless, though, I mean, this is a Shopify Rebellion that made the very top spot in the very previous stage.
You can see we played Yoru, Waylay, Jet.
Regardless of how this
so
match ends
this is
up,
a big switch up right here. I like this.
Downslide after this match.
Definitely not. They shouldn't be ready for this.
Think about. I think especially for just
their Pearl, obviously very good.
That Shopify Rebellion Black
no
had,
comp change.
But also Blueotter, I thought this
necessary
kind of,
for them.
Finishing up their stage 1, they were looking pretty positive.
But also quite a bit of footage. All right, let's go.
They've been diversifying what they're playing in a couple of other outside tournaments as well, trying to get the reps up. So
Mike, you there?
Definitely a proving point between these two squads,
nice.
but it is Pearl for our opening pistol, and it will be Shopify Rebellion Black on the offense.
I'm watching your stream, so I get a delay, so I don't
what is going to be
people
just a flash
riled
and
up
dash
in
type
chat
situation
for
with
being
Paint.
like
But opening headshot on
of a
Monzi
second
slows things
ahead.
down just a bit. Zoe trying to get into the picture.
This
and
is so weird. What is happening with observing right now?
But Shopify Rebellion have not fully committed yet.
Still not stepping outside of these
It's a
smokes. I'm sure of how
brawl on
much
the
is
site
still
right now.
present on it. Fair is early, and they'll pay the price.
Shit!
Paint
Dude, I'm already
slide
so
through
good,
for
bro.
the trade. And this long flank from Zeke and Bob. Well, not being watched
nothing
for
holding
at
it
the
right
moment. They've
now.
avoided the sentry turret, but you do have the ability to maybe scale a little bit deeper into the site, and that's a nice double from Zeke.
Why are we
Fireball
so unaware of
following up.
that?
No pinch though from Bob. Still
We
worried
were
about
way
where
too
Paint is.
unaware.
Now the easy crunch here
Looked
from
like they
Bluewater
made like
should
2
seal away
calls
this defense.
because they
It's
ran
Paint that gets
into
active
site
as
and
always,
then
though,
3
and he's
people
immediately
grouped and
shortened this
got
to
out.
1 before Bob gets in the right spot, slides over and gets the intel too. Now the double back, the 1v1.
Let's go, Amari. Let's fucking go, baby.
Way to open things up after
Woo!
this duelist switch, right?
Yep.
Dude, Amari's so
I mean,
fucking insane lately.
It's exactly what we were
Have they
kind of
been
hoping for. I think if you're a shot
having a bit of a harder time getting like good scrims with everything going on?
I'm sure so. There's a lot of teams obviously looking for replacements and shit.
Yeah. And some of the other tier 2 teams are already out for this stage, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably done as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of rough time of the year.
Definitely juggling some combos with some of these VCT orgs, I'll say that.
Yeah.
They understand how slim the gap is when it comes to these rounds. And with this massive stack on the B site, they are ready for that one and done if it decides to go that way. Shopify slowly
the
crawling up to
riot
that
system
A
is just so weird because it's always going to be, if you have a bad stage 1,
well, so Blueotter could
people are always going to like rebuild for like next year starting in stage 2.
With these flanks, Pancake's already not asleep at the wheel, but a little too far forward.
But that fucks the Ascension teams that are like, they're trying really hard to make sure their stage 2 is good because that's all that really like matters for them is this part of the year.
Oh my god, the Brawler didn't clear that?
Well, not who he was shooting at, but you take the kill regardless.
I'll micro that Brawler a little bit.
Falling from the salvo starting to come through as
If you didn't hit the guy he was aiming at, you just hit a random guy in the back.
And an opportunity to just flood in from the front of the site. Again, there is a pinch opportunity still available for Pancakes trying to get back over towards A main, but for the
mollies.
they've got a nice little angle here.
Mollies
Problem is the
KJ.
weapons just are not all that great. And it leaves Zeke by themselves. And yeah, just too many things to look at, you would figure. There's a little check, little shoulder. Fade utility to come through, and Pancakes will finish off the anti-eco.
As long as the onus continues to be on Shopify Rebellion.
By the way, sorry about the whole NRG thing. I never said it publicly, so talk privately. Chat doesn't know. I felt bad for you.
It's all good. Appreciate it. On to different things now.
Yeah, that's all you can do in this industry, really. Just gotta keep your head down. Just grind. Oh, dude.
Definitely
you were in like
a lot of stress now.
Yeah, you were in a pretty fucked situation, I'm not gonna lie. Like, coming in, hot, stage 1, new player, everything. That's hard.
Though, under full purchase,
Yeah,
bonus
I think it's a
does require
different
a couple of
feel as well
to
compared to like
Shopify
what
Rebellion
we
back
did
to where they were
in 2022. Because it's one thing when you come in and you kind of like we started from scratch, so there's nothing versus like there's a lot of like pre-existing things in a team that like, works and stuff that doesn't work, and you kind of have to figure that out pretty quickly.
Yeah. It's a lot of like, this is what we're doing, and like you have a pencil and you're like kind of erasing it, but like the outlines were still there because it's still like ingrained in the Ooh, nice entry.
That's the kill you're looking for.
And obviously, you want to take like you want to find out all the stuff that they're already good at, so you don't have to waste time.
1v3 mid, 1v3.
That's okay. Like incorporating a different system entirely, or different ideas.
There to at least meet one.
Why is this guy?
Fair, who had done the initial damage, avoids the follow-up knife, and there may be an opportunity to kind of get a little bit in towards the front side of the site.
Mike's
trying to see what they can do to just hopefully kill a little bit of time and space, allow Bob to come in, but Fair will be stunned up. No problem there for BCJ, and Bob's got no entry. Bonus is good, and SRB are off to the races.
Bob being a little late to the party has been kind of the tail of the tape for a lot of Bluewatter's run throughout this split, unfortunately. It's one of the unfortunate weak points for this team. Bob has been such a crazy influential duelist over on FlyQuest Red and Game Changers North America. Having her relegated to this Tejo Flex Initiator option has been a tough decision for Blueotter to make, but a necessary one to let the other players really work their magic, which they absolutely have. Unfortunately,
they're still making changes. Who's the head coach?
Too many a scenario where too much responsibility is placed on her in a position that she's not really able to take it. So the timing's just not really
Vapin and Finn is our assistant coach. Different Zeke, yeah.
And I think it's one of those things, for Blueotter.
Oh, that timing is crazy.
You have to maybe even look a little bit further towards how do we want to try to utility.
I was scared with the timing, but Spaz the GOAT.
I think that might be part of it, because we really haven't seen the stealth drone find much effectiveness.
Liking our spacing, I'm liking our util.
And I think with the idea
I'm liking
of
Amari's form. There's a lot of things I'm liking right now, Mike.
There is an opportunity to dominate some of those spaces, and we kind of saw that a little bit over the top of
even the
previous
game.
Round, but
even though I think that was a little closer as well, right? I think people seemed a lot more on the same page than the first few games of the split.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot. I'm not really like a fan of excuses on like pro teams, but I will say like Muncie's PC was pretty shit. It's I take responsibility. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. We tried to get it to him fast. I don't know. Didn't get to him too fast. Now that he's been on a new PC, things are going a lot better. Pracs going better. But in addition to that, I think we were doing some incorrect things on like match days. So some adjustments were made there. I just think like overall, like, you know, just what happens when you lose, you just have those hard conversations. And like the same thing that happened to us on 100 Thieves, where we took like a week break or like couple day break and we just looked like shit. That happened to them after split one. Like they took a week break just because they kind of earned it because they were grinding so hard. And it was hard to like just get the magic back, you know, like the synergy. It just took a little bit.
I think it's really easy in a game like this, especially where you have to think about so many things, for people to forget like the things that make you really good. Like even if you take like a week break, it's pretty easy to like fall out of habit.
Yeah. It's such a form-based game, dude. It really is.
We're set up on B
Like,
again here.
I feel like your form individually is pretty aligned with like your team form.
Yeah, but I like that.
Yeah.
All drone early up towards mid.
Yeah.
You've also got
It's very
device
rarely
utility
like
kind
one or
of
the
stopping the
other.
choke point over towards the B connector, so there's a little bit more of a stack here in terms of
a high
how
low.
Blueotter want
They
to
both
use
shot.
utility to try to stop these initial engagements, including a couple of star placements. So there's a bit of a one-way. Zeke in some trouble. Flash comes through. Bob trying to follow up. Not
Amari's
gonna
the
be able to
goat.
connect.
Amari's actually the
For
goat.
two.
Let's
Now you got
fucking
the
go,
Bob
man. That was
to be,
insane.
you would think a full flood in through this mid connector, but no commitment here for Shopify, taking their 5v3 with some caution.
It's a tough nightfall to execute when you haven't been able to clear these other chokes. And Blue now has free reign over A main as well, so no escalation off of that. Maybe seeing if Blue sense that there is a rotation in this. It's not going to happen, and Zoe will get that first peak kill.
Well, Fair's going to have to hit
Paint.
if this play continues to make a way over through a connector here. Looks like it wants to.
Paint is a
Back up over
grinder.
towards Art. Got Spaz holding a little bit deeper. And there's the pop flash over the top. Combined
Great
with
attitude.
one. Fragment into the corner.
pretty
Now
hard
it's on the
for him to
Fair.
kill
Misses the
Bob.
first.
Spaz
It's
is gonna
critical.
want to take solo time.
And now he's just stuck. Trying to get the knives. Will be one kill away from it. So able to go
good
one
work
for
by
one, but
Spaz.
Fair will drop and Fireball
Okay, we
is
got
trying to make a
Good
play
timing.
through Flowers that is just honestly speaking not going to find a lot of value from this angle unless maybe you can get a one tap and then get a swing, but Shopify Rebellion are not
Nice.
going to allow that to happen. 5-0
Man, we look so
start
good,
for
dude. Let's go.
SRB.
Stay focused, boys. Stay focused.
This has just been a very well-practiced attack exit for
Shit.
Pearl from Shopify thus far. They've found every place to be able to isolate members of Blueotter and force a 2 or 3v1, whether it's via util or swings. A lot of
Oh, is
very
Bob still
trivial
playing
fights
GC right
that
now?
result in the team fights on site almost being non-existent
Wait.
the past 2 rounds. But again, the proactivity from Blueotter is continuing to be there. We're seeing those peaks. We're seeing these players get a little
Oh,
brave.
yeah, that's right.
And then we're seeing that
played
intel
yesterday.
searched for just a little bit
I'm
earlier
so
to
stupid.
understand how committal Shopify has the
I was watching from my
ability
phone,
to be at a moment's notice thanks to that.
so it's very hard for me to pay attention
neon that they
yesterday.
have in the pocket. So coming into this round, I mean,
Okay.
Blueotter, they won't have a.
I had lunch yesterday with Shaz, Shazam, so I was like not able to stream. That's why I missed the game. He moved down, or not down here, over here from Texas recently. I don't know when. Always been close to Shaz, so yeah. Glad to see he's doing good.
And then Paint just runs forward. I mean, you know what you're going to get with this composition. Yeah, I think that's the biggest part about it. And to this point, like, again, we're 5 rounds in. Fireball has been just avoided.
He's a
They're
great
just not
dude.
playing into the vice at all.
He's actually a great
Bob
dude
hasn't
that
really
has
found much
caught
value
some
pausing
really
anything with
unlucky
things like the
breaks that
salvos,
got
things
him a
like the
bad
stealth
route.
drones. Like, we
And
really
it's
have
so
only
unfair.
gotten
All right,
one
pop flash
forward
ready,
all
off
drone through
turret.
mid.
It's a trap play.
Everything else for Blue
I like this
Otter
trap off turret.
has largely
KO
just
flash.
been Well, we'll just kind of wait to play contact. Now a salvo check will come through. Now we have a stealth drone. So again, like I like this proactivity, but you're dealing with limited arsenal here with just pistol upgrades and a stinger.
Yeah, forcing you to use everything a little bit early here. Even more committal.
EG does something kind of similar from
Salvo
Gop
doesn't
with the
recharge.
Yoru flash.
So Bob, husk of a kit that she's got to play with.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, you're right.
Shopify will continue to tease.
It's a little bit harder because they don't have like a turret. They have to do it all off the Vice Flash. But...
Zero B presence. I mean, they're flexing the fact that they're playing this out.
Yeah.
Haunt deep.
I'll be interested to see what everyone
cooks
up comp-wise for the rest of the year if there's no other changes.
Got the finger guns out, Paint. Whoa, shut down as Fair's got knives to play with. Nebula also slowing this down with the vacuum being called over towards Art. So the defense is holding nicely. With only 30 seconds remaining, yeah, you're going to make a hard check pivot. Through B connector.
I don't know that actually. Maybe not a good pivot because they're going to get the guns.
It's going to take some time, and Blueotter are going to be aware of this. It's just down to how much can Spaz get from this position, and the first one is good. We'll go 3v3.
He's so fucking good, dude.
I'm running back in. Pancakes has this early. Gun's not out.
Let's go, man.
Just trying to run this down.
It's a lot harder if they don't take the space.
Before they can get the plant down. But now that Cosmic Divide is up and the reset fully in tow.
But you always catch people off guard on these rounds, especially when they have like classics.
That keep the eyes away from Fair. And Fair's going to have to hit some of these knives at range. Not going to happen. So just down to Zostel. Stuck up top on tower, half HP. And Shopify will stay flawless on the scoreboard. 6-0. And you start to look at the tools available. Woof. I mean, Blueotter still don't really have much to cook with. You got a Cosmic Divide and a Steel Garden and a Hunter's Fury.
I am not taking this shit for granted.
You don't win this round, you're back to another save, and you're waiting another 2 rounds before you really use any of those.
Yeah, and again, so much of it has to come down to this Teo kit that
we are looking very good, though.
Burning a hole on this map. I misspoke, by the way. I apologize. Teo is not nerfed just yet.
Not yet.
For this.
Yeah, it's not on this
patch that we're still playing in for this Swiss. So Selma's do recharge. Bob can get nice and proactive early on in the A push, which she will again in order to continue farming this orb.
He sees.
Shopify.
Ooh, they even pay it, bro. We are so aware. We know exactly where that Silva was. So we know they're set up. We must have done hella. Dude, we pinged where the Silva darted from. Just we must have done so much homework.
Just doing a really nice job of keeping the defense kind of unaware. Stealth drone out. Blind Hunter's Fury just trying to connect onto something. Is there any sort of a peek off of that? No.
Oh my god, that's hard
now, but I swear it's so hard to thread it
that quickly. And now you've got
oh no, he misses the wall fucked up.
Now though,
what the fuck?
Playing inside the site, Nova Pulse is there. Spaz shuts down the flank. And now you've got Steel Garden in the mix.
What the fuck happened?
An opportunity
to hit the wall.
Hold on to the site. Monzi is low, but
like just slightly into the
that will be Spaz falling and making sure that there is no regen. So how about that? Blueotter on the board.
All good. That won't happen again.
Throughout that fight and stepping out when the moment matters.
Damn, that's so unfortunate.
Steel Garden just to finalize as well. Good touch.
What's happening, right? Damn, Landor and Core are already at half? What the fuck? Landor up 8-4.
Speedrun game.
Yeah. I think they started after us.
Much time to extend. If you can continue doing that, great. If you can't, that's okay. It's Pearl defense. Nobody's really going to be mad at you.
B-Star? We haven't done that yet, I don't think.
No command doesn't hit onto the Vice either, which I think is super important.
Wow.
Nice little double peek here through mid.
I don't think JK expects him to challenge mid like that.
Blood as we have our first look for an execute kind of towards B. I say that with hesitation because the spike is not a part of this play. A little check from Fireball. They bait out the Armageddon.
No.
I tried to dodge that as Paint, but he has nowhere to go. And that'll be another free first blood coming through.
One cut early on in Plaza as well, so Spaz walks alone through Art as Blueotter.
See, they don't have Astral Wall or Tailed anymore for retake.
Mad dash over to A here.
I think we're doing a great job of taking like opposite side space.
On top of the sheer, Paint sticking around a little too long, and their own moment of indecision. One fluke that Blueotter is able to exploit at least here, but second attempt at the push. Blueotter is once again in front of those smokes. Do they decide to breach him?
To take a timing from the
Launches
spots
out. Here comes
now.
BCJ for the plant. Bob trying to get some spam. A little bit late on the salvo. BCJ can't get away. Follow up on Onzi is good, leaving it just down to Spaz, who gets blindsided by Zeke. So 2 in a row here for Blueotter.
Slow.
And again, I think they've gotten a really good feel out to what Shopify
not a lot
Rebellion
of
are trying
space
to do,
work
just try to
with,
stretch
but
out their
Astra,
defense, and instead of committing early like
just,
we've
like,
seen in the
really
first
weird
6
spot
rounds,
already. He's not really
Blueotter
gonna,
are
like,
holding their
push
ground
spawn.
nicely now.
In that
Yeah,
case.
a great read on the macros in the long run, and if they can condense onto the site at any point, really, while Shopify are still on it, as they've proven, then they can absolutely win that fight. It's about Shopify having the time and the space to get into the
Personality
extremities
higher.
where it gets a little dangerous,
Find
where
it
BCJ
interesting
can
with
start using
tailwolds
those
that
prowlers
people
once, and where
still
Paint can
do
kind
paint
of elect
things
to
as
die to
always.
them
But
sometimes
Blueotter, if they
instead of
continue
at
to
least
disallow that
taking
like
like
they have
a
these past 2 rounds.
40-60 kind of fight.
Yeah, he could have lived in like the corner long P, but I don't think he realized like the Yoru corner. Yeah, I agree with what you were saying though. Unfortunate.
We talked about that a lot on some of these maps where like B long it's so fucked, or some of these other maps where it's just like that long hallway aspect.
Like Haven A long, or even like if you're caught in like Haven short A, like Haven C, like bro, Haven has a few of them actually.
Because you might as well at least run up and try to take like a bad fight and like have a chance that way in the fight versus you just die like running around.
Yeah. Man, I bet FNS has to be so bitter. Maybe even you too, that Teo literally just catches his nerf right now. It's like they were so good in the off season. This agent gets released, the whole meta changes drastically. Like, and now it's just gone. Like it's gonna be gone.
It is what it is, because you can say that for like Teo meta, but there could be like a new meta, like an agent that everyone grabs onto for this next stage. If you don't adapt to that too, then it's kind of the same thing, right? So it's always just whether or not you can latch on to the new thing.
True.
Like I know a lot of teams are probably debating whether or not Yoru's good anymore because of the ult change, but
I think that's not enough. I don't think. I think he's still gonna be insane.
Yeah,
He just has
if
so much util.
If you have a good Yoru player on your team, it's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, like watching Jogamo and Zekin, especially like watching Zekin on like split on defense, bro. Like the split is like a perfect example. Like the split G2 Sen game, how Zekin is just challenging that A line, and you have to use so much shit to push him off of it just to get him to use one of his 2 TPs.
And then he plays another angle that's like super hard to get out of.
Yeah, exactly.
This time, though, BCJ different angle.
Let's go. We finally got another first blood.
And that's fair down
Smart
for
play by
first
Spaz.
blood. That will stretch out this defense over towards A a touch, but you see the scaling
Stop
forward.
fight. These guys have all the lines.
They're aggressing like everywhere right now.
Is there anything more? Because Spaz has been, throwing shoulders here. We'll just pull the star back, little quick charge on the Nebula, and that will lead to now an attack over
Probably
towards
take
B
streak
connector.
space then, since you know that guy's like all the way along B.
Again.
It's probably only one other guy
Blueotter
B.
continuing to play the distance, understanding how much they have to offer once Shopify settle, making sure not to lose too much on the way out. That's why you see all this extra clearing anyway. Shopify aren't just looking so that they don't die. They're looking so that they can get that extra kill on the way to the site.
Yeah.
In order to find that extra advantage so that they can guarantee that team fight that they know could slip away from them at any moment. Nightfall into A main. They know that players have been planted there very often. So you see Zoe is going to be a little more stuck with Bob early with this Armageddon.
They like wall across site and then he'll run into
it. Now out.
You've got a lockdown in a very safe spot here for the offense to move through. Or Bob is going to sit in the backside of the site. That Nanoswarm doesn't get exactly where it's intended to go. Zoe with a late star, just trying to get the vacuum in. Gravity Vortex not going to pull anyone forward, but Bob does go
through
dugout.
Damn,
Fireball
that
also follows up.
So he's still
in towards Flowers onto a second, and now the exit feels a little bit more labored. It's going to be a 2v3 situation on this post plant. Advantage to Blueotter. Shotgun is good, but Paint able to get a long swing for one. Follow-up good onto Spaz. Down to a single point worth of health, essentially. Recon dart there. But the double setup for Blueotter too strong.
I think the Zoe still did a really good job. Like you said, the gravel and the fucking stun to just like hold on for dear life. Like just not even worrying about the late round. Just playing for yourself right there. That was so smart.
That's kind of the sacrifices you have to make with this new Yoru meta. The potential that Sentinels have to creep in, the potential that Teo still has
mid
to
at the start of every round.
rat
Like at least one guy is.
even
That should be
this tip of this spear
free kill
or
for
any
them
part
as
of the
long as
fight
they're
really.
aware.
There are going to be parts of these sites, parts of these extremities that unless you send a player
close,
who's
actually.
willing to kill into them, they're not going to be fully checked.
Okay.
Can't be fully flushed. This time it was Bob letting Fireball go in with all of that action on site. And it's another bunch of dominoes that Shopify just have to let fall.
Again.
We have 4.
I'm just really surprised they're not trying to play with better tempo here. And even in 5v4s, like you have that first blood onto Fair last round, you're still just kind of finessing, trying to get a little bit too cute. Like, flash and dash, get in, scale up, and how about that from Fair?
Gets
the collat headshot, so 2 will drop. So the spike will be collected up, but it's still a 3v4.
Massive.
Hold that. 3v3. But still, map control convincingly in favor of Blueotter. They've got just about all of this trapped. Good reveal here. Paint, though, too slippery. Hunter's Fury is going to be called out, though. That will tag on the 2. And Fireball will collect just about
that was
everything.
like good solo. I'm not gonna lie.
Really good stuff here from Blueotter. It's going to be 4 in a row for them.
That was smart that they used it that way.
Shopify finally falling into the pitcher plants earlier than before.
Honestly, it's not like they did anything bad this round. Like Spaz just got spammed at B long, and then they were ready for someone to like fight them mid doors, and he just gets 2 while running away.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, exactly. Like, because Spaz got hit so hard, I would guess that normally in that setup, he would be like some kind of like jiggle or contact, because it doesn't make sense to swing from right side or left side, this perspective, left side door. So I think normally Spaz would probably like jiggle or take contact and then they swing. But he couldn't because he was like 1 HP.
A couple trips that Shopify have not been able to clear here.
Play super safe.
Shopify's going to play a little bit of regression here over towards A main. Yeah, they've got a deep star plus they've got.
I like this adjustment.
And that is now enough for Pancakes.
Jake on the op,
hold the flank with an operator.
Yeah, they've just been fucking pushing that.
Flash and dash into sight. Like it just has to be. I mean, I just don't know what else you're waiting for here. If you're Shopify, you've gotten the first blood. Maybe you wait a little bit to see if there's any pressure going to be established on. You know, picking up that angle towards B, but you just got to just hit this with your execute.
Yeah, act like there's a nebula here the whole time. Salvos
didn't have
out.
to
It's
reclear
Blue
this.
that steps in.
No!
Frag.
Oh my god, thank you.
But Monsi comes up with 2 on the kill feed, and then caught
so
Fair, who's
scary.
doubled
That
back
stun was
on
like
this
perfect.
shotgun. Does find one. Stuck in the cloud burst. That's a second.
What the fuck, man? 1v2. Jesus Christ, man.
And it opens the door for Fireball for the 1v2.
That A main fight should have been a lot cleaner for them. I feel like the util from Blueotter was, I don't know, clearing A main is so hard with no matter how much util you have.
There's the information, but wow, Pancakes takes a shot from Fireball. Follow up is there.
Nice double swing. I like that.
Is able to at least trade things up, but that got mixy for a moment there. Again, considering that Shopify had the green light to go.
Did they do a team dinner for Jake's birthday, like Nobu or something?
Oh, I have no idea. Probably.
You see how dangerously SRB is playing
Nobu
even
on
now,
the
though, having
Shopify
to
Rebellion
go through
card.
that whole checklist of clearing, even in the 2v1. Granted, Pancakes is still clutching that operator, so it's a little tougher to farm that crossfire. You want that guarantee. But then you're still not able to find it, even after. And BCJ has to stay
must have some kind of dart.
uber patient in order to clutch that one up. Once again,
oh no, just playing
the
off that early
rats
knife.
of the Otters
For real.
have made some
So
real
they
damage
push off of that knife.
in this
Pushes
playoff
mid, breaks
contending
turret.
team.
There's a pretty good ults here for a B hit.
Old
Astral Wall.
Yes.
Timing was decent. One of the
Sound
knives
play
hit,
in,
just
though.
doesn't connect onto the headshot. Now Fireball, yep, we'll know that this play is likely over towards B main and catches one through smoke. Razorvine gets destroyed with an ult command. Cosmic Divide is out. Zeke thinking about it. Sees one, but no.
Shallow wall.
Isn't able to stand tall onto it, and Fireball gets caught on the other side of the Cosmic Divide. So looking like it'll be an 8-4
That's the only thing that's sketchy about this B wall. When you do the shallow one, is it's so easy for these guys to like flood out, especially if they have a flash.
Yeah.
And it still isn't done yet. Now with the Cosmic Divide out, and with Zoe finding a couple, he can hop onto it immediately with the gravity. Oh, nope, Nanoswarm. We'll give some respect back to it. Hop out for Bob.
Like
It's going to be difficult to get back onto this plan. You can see the stars that are still in place.
Yeah,
You're going to
stars
win a
for the
gunfight.
bomb.
Oh, they don't
They
know
can
that
molly
there's a
like the
second
corner
member
as
at
well.
Pillars. They think there's a late flank coming through. Gravity Vortex will pull. Bob halfway. You got to go, though. You got to get up and try to chow this. And there he is. Follow
Let's
Dana
fucking
Storm
go.
will work things out.
Well
Got a little
played.
dicier
Well
than
played.
I
Well
would have
played.
expected, but
Okay.
8-4
I've
still
never seen anyone jump up
Yeah.
top gen
The
like
most
that
important-
behind the wall, but it's
Yeah.
actually pretty smart.
Dude, that's what I was gonna say when you said like the shallow walls are sketch. Our wall, they could have done like the Osboss float to like the double box or the gen box, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
The wall was like slightly off, and it allowed that, and that made me a little nervous. Because I agree, I think giving that space can be weird sometimes.
How they can
Yeah.
fight these
It's one of those
extremities
things that always
Shopify
looks
wanted to so
good
badly,
in
and if they
theory
can get
because you
stopped
talk
as
about in the
early
server
as they
Valpine,
can,
it's
no
like, well,
question
if we just
that
hold the
Paint
wall,
is
you can get
gonna
the bomb
wanna
down, and then like
do
they
some dirty
smoke off
work
B long and
early
they
on in
flash
these
through it or
rounds, especially
something,
to try and get that
and just gets
confidence
so
boost and
weird
shoot
when you're
this
trying to
a
hold it then.
13-4, but
True.
how proactive is the rest
Like
of
it's
the
one of
team
those
yet? How
in
many
theory kind of
pieces
things that
utility
always
you can
sounds
just grit
good.
your teeth through?
Well, first sign of aggression
Yeah, at
here
least
from
you guys will be
SRB.
pretty set on this
Taking
map
a main
compared to a
control,
lot of
set
these
three
other teams
turrets.
running Teo for the
Gets
meta
in trouble with
change.
the salvos will be deleted, so that will force the attention of Pancakes over towards B Connector for a lot of this round. And you've got an opportunity to possibly get a bit of a pinch here over towards A. It just comes down to how they want to try to break open this fight. And do they get maybe some less Valor timing? No. Monzi able to find the first Paint,
Nice.
easy
Good old bait
headshot
and
there.
switch.
It also confirms
Let's
there's the
fucking
third.
go.
So advantage in a major way here to SRB.
Let's convert this
Monty's
shit.
IGLing has never really been called into question. His fragging was a little bit lacking so far this stage. I believe he was getting like terrible frames though in those games,
Yeah, he's gonna
allegedly.
pick up the
That's
sewer gap.
this is all
That's good.
hearsay, but going into the previous week, their game against SAD.
All that
Again,
observing
hearsay.
fucking broke my brain.
Monty's back to a full-fledged gamer setup.
Oh my
So
god, how is
he's
this
been
even
looking
slightly
very
low?
active, very
Yeah,
low.
this is
You
kind of
can-
scary.
Here's Fair all the way up, and Pancakes has spotted him in the slide back. Actually, a decent trade of the health pool, but BCJ on the bigger one steps up to the challenge, and Fair trounces him too.
Hit on the way. Defense here, but Zeke. Double classic headshot.
God, man.
Hold on a second. Now we're into a 2v2 situation. Paint able to find
Damn,
the
he
first.
flipped
That's
so
a very
fast.
valuable one. Zeke off the reload has done a lot of the damage needed. Trying to play off this double swing. First one there.
You shook me,
Separation.
bro.
How do you want to play the recon? Oh, really well played. Paint revealed, but again, the movement too strong, and now the pistol duel continues. Running out of ammunition, right click out, and Zeke will find four.
Man, how do
No
we not
idea
convert
how
this
Blueotter
shit?
keeps strangling their way into these rounds.
That's so ridiculous. That guy coming through spawn should have never gotten that kill.
Yeah,
And that's
did
just
so much damage on the Jake, and then also
unbelievable
got
from Fair
the
and Zeke.
Yeah.
fadeaway kill.
Yeah, he literally got like a 2K pretty much because he made Jake one shot.
It's
Like-
insane how many times this map I've watched you guys get dinked down to like 1 HP, but like live.
Yeah.
Onus is on Paint. He gets to reset the fight as many times as he wants, but he's still got to go get that kill, and Zeke is not going to let that happen. Up to
God
double
damn it.
That's
digits
just
here on
also
the
hard to
scoreboard,
like
giving Blueotter a
recognize in
nice
the
portal
moment
to
when you have like
6-8
3 people that's
gap
like
here if they can
1
make this B
HP,
attack work,
but
as
you're
it looks
playing like
like.
a normal 5v4. It's just not even close to the same.
Well, quick action here for Blueotter on to B.
Fast
Vortex
beat
pulls in a
gets right
couple,
here,
gives the
though.
shotgun an opportunity for Shopify, but no, not going to happen. No kills come through. Monzi would have to hope the fragment can maybe do something to this round, and to be fair, it's some good damage, but not enough to deter the plant. Fair's going to step up and take care of the final two. So quick action here for Blueotter. Flawless means a perfect bonus opportunity
all
coming up
good.
for them next.
Love
All
seeing
good. They
Fair
have Sova ult though.
really already start to walk up as this Jet. No,
Maybe
he's
they'll
going to
do
have to
that
take
art
just
split
as much
that everyone
space
does
as
with
Paint
Civil
does
ult.
if Blueotter wants a chance at being able to utilize
Yeah.
everything that they have to offer for this attack. It'll be about cycling, preventing Shopify Rebellion from having a decent window of time to come in with everything they have to offer on the attack. Forcing Paint to come in disjointed, forcing the flashes to come in with no follow-up, forcing Shopify Rebellion to keep chipping away at what little they have before they make the fight
Some kind of center
trivial.
map
That's how
dart?
Bluewater
No,
won
no,
their
never mind, that's
defensive
what they're
rounds.
doing.
That's how they
Never
have
mind.
to
Like a
inch away
B
at their
split.
attacking rounds. Aw.
That's unfortunate.
That would ping the jump spotter.
Pancakes will not be revealed. Stealth drone also avoided.
That's a pretty cool dart to ping the
Darts
jump
there,
spotter
damage
and
warm
shit.
up. Salvo has to be dodged.
Yeah,
Pancakes
there's
in some
someone
trouble,
unaware
but
backside.
will call for help. And then I'm sure immediately say we don't need it, but instead, commits forward to it, and after the pop-off that you had from Zeke, he's already got himself the Hunter's Fury. That will connect onto Pancakes, and Blueotter looking really strong in this bonnet.
Forcing a scatter shot from Shopify out the gate here, and Shopify fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Paint, though, on this Vandal, continuing to stay active, continuing to slide in. There it goes, so you'll have to fish out the next one. It's easy to do that with Monsi's Fragment. That's a defensive reset on B-side. Still the personnel advantage of Fireball Ops. Gonna take advantage of it by going for this creep up A connector. An uncertain half of the map, forcing Shopify to go for the reset.
This is really a tough call, though, if you're Fireball. You feel like you're going to be called upon to do something here, but what a snap that is. Able to find Monzi. But now head is on a swivel. Paint looking for the trade. We'll find it for free. Left. Now we have the 2v2, but
it's a hard 2-on-2, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Here for Blueotter.
Yeah, they have one star. They have the wall.
At the very least. So she's fully kitted. Zoe's gonna creep up on his stars. Spaz is gonna actually be quite late to this, having to snake all the way back from A main. So again, not a great window of time to work with here. It's gonna have to be Paint getting proactive,
worried about how much time they're taking as well.
No. It doesn't matter. Just get on into the face, and Zoe still find the free kill. And now it's on to Bob, who has stayed concealed to this point, or has he? Spaz, good prediction. Has to hop on. That's the salvo out. Paint. Wait, that salvo, I was about to say, is it actually in a good spot? I couldn't see it on the ground, but from the box, it still does hit. Bob finds the kill and wins the bonus for Blueotter, down 1 now.
My fault. I forgot Paint got a second kill in between all that and was able to
get the turret was smoked off and not bottom street.
Re-engage. I mean, that's exactly how you want the remainder.
It doesn't seem like he knew, right? It definitely doesn't seem like he knew that turret was smoked off when he came around that corner. And that was probably because, I mean, they did that like heavy B-long anti-eco, and they just ran it down B. And this round they went heavy B at the start, like hella footsteps. So I think Jake is hearing all that, and then he mollied the smoke. So
for a full
just
reset
super
this
focused
time,
on B long.
Yeah.
Full-fledged eco.
Yeah. Baz will still get some control at A main. Bit of a heavier stack in through mid, leaning E, but now that's going to have to move as Fair connects on to Spaz.
Probably gotten pretty unfortunate on these timings right now.
Rebellion, they may not have a choice here. They may just have to either just group up and guess or give up the round maybe to the spike death, but they're going to rotate over. Knife does not reveal anything at A main. Plus, you've got quick clearance on the site itself, so maybe a chance, to just triple this up and try to get something over through mid. Nope, nothing there. Nope, nothing there.
Nice shot.
Takes a village. So now my question is, how far does Fair creep up with this outlaw?
Yeah.
How, what does he decide to hold? Oh,
Oh,
this is interesting, isn't
damn.
it? That's one.
Dude, that was so close to a double.
That was a fun idea for sure.
Yeah, especially to collect the weapon and try to cut the rotation off. Yeah,
oh
if
my
you could
God.
float there, it's a very winnable round, but now it's just down to Pain. Nebula will allow him to get into sight. Was he seen? Doesn't look like it. Huh? Here's all the noise.
Sucks too, because all of these guys are close to ults as well.
Fair double checks at the exact right moment, and it's 8-8 after again a 6-0 start for Shopify Rebellion. Blueotter have really woke it up and figured out what they want to do in the map.
No need for them to do anything crazy either. Everyone's playing pretty by the book, just doing it extremely well. Fair is not overextending too hard, but he's still able to, carry his own frag ability here. And in the meantime, everybody else on Blueotter currently having a great buddy system, able to kind of cover each other's fires. That's how they won the early trade fights.
Just Bladestorm here
at the very beginning of this map when they stood a chance in
Judge,
those attacking rounds. Here, it's a little tougher to coordinate.
The Judge is going to run
Shopify again.
Down towards
they've
back
been the ones who have kind of had to react a little aggressively, and so Blueotter can maintain this blinding tempo. And with Fair on this knives, it's very possible then it's a different game.
Yeah, just forced the tough shot coming out. Pancakes though does slow things down for a moment. Lots of utility still existing.
Beagle! Let's fucking go, Jake! Holy fuck, that was insane, dude. Holy shit.
Doesn't matter how fast you want to move. You
Holy
what was happening on the screen like for 10 seconds there.
Steal one away.
Holy shit. We needed that shit.
Line them all up. Pancakes' seminar is in session as he steps onto the B site and lays waste to the lineup exiting the smoke.
Let's go. We needed that.
Nothing to offer this time.
Their money is
After that
actually
ninth
pretty
from Moxie, I
bad
believe.
for
That
winning
was
4 in a row.
insane.
But
Fucking
I mean,
ace.
you were there. You were ready to react to it. Everybody
He's pinging the dart.
had enough util to offer to at least
Ping
bludgeon
the dart that
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 entrance.
guy's been
Pancakes
throwing.
with the LOS to deal with it so properly.
You are divided.
In one fell swoop, Blueotter pressured to play this B-side a little more classically and a little more heavily. Cosmic Divide on early.
Lockdown at the ready. If you do want to try to counter this for Shopify, but they're not going to commit to it.
Damn, this is sketchy. This is a good spot
Spike
for
gets
him.
planted. That's set up for Pillar.
Oh wow, I like their
Bear
idea to
will
use
stay
drone
here
too.
as
Oh
long
wait, he
as
saw
they
him?
can. Overdrive out. Steel Garden going to be planted out by Fireball. Inside the smoke, no one's looking for fair right now. No one's even bothering for it,
You
but
have
the
to go
smoke
for it. Like,
replaces.
you're just gonna keep
Containment
re-smoking it.
comes through. Fair's gonna need a little bit of help. If they even look though, Fair's still hanging out up
crazy.
top. SRB are finding eliminations, but oh no! The damage starting to come through now.
Dude,
because
how?
Somehow gets 2.
Like, how does
Maybe
this keep
makes that
happening?
doable for Bob, especially with this post-plant situation. But the
Oh my
shot is
God.
not going to land.
This guy is just like somehow getting collapsed left and right.
For Shopify, and it is.
Driving me crazy. Holy fuck. That was actually crazy how they hid the jet in a fucking one-way Asher smoke for like a minute. Oh my God, I was losing my mind.
It's on top of the boxes.
Holy.
Outlasting the lockdown. Again, that is such great
I thought he
improv
sold it
and
'cause he
commitment
dropped
from
down
Blue
thinking
Otter to
someone
try to
was
stick to that
sticking it
plan and keep
already,
it
so
planted.
he
And
shot.
of course,
And
Fair
then
is going to
he
come up
just got
positive
the most
on it. Drops down
insane
for
collide
the 2.
ever.
I know, right?
Unfortunately, a little too late, and Bob is forced to use those salvos right before the window would be too short for
That was a
Shopify.
crazy idea.
Loses the 2v1, and the window is shut. But what a fun idea to try to counteract all that Shopify had to offer on that dump. Fully set up, again, though, on the double digits in Shopify, very close to taking this map.
Nearly works out.
Obscuring vision.
Broken by situation with Zeke only able to go to an upgraded pistol.
Damn, they're
You
like
got the
kind
op
of
still in
playing
hand for
scrappy,
Paint.
dude. Jet taking a solo fight street, 2A main, 2 walking up
An
B.
idea starting to develop over towards
hell?
A, really from both sides. BCJ throwing shoulders
Alright,
on
one
the
bot
angle.
just hit.
Fair
now we
set up
know
to try
they're
to watch
B.
for something on this
I really get
cross.
all the street set up though.
Well,
I have
Fade
to
utility
go
will
for
land,
something
and
soon.
does he get any more information? Ah, just
Love
a
that
nebula
double
pullback
flick.
completely baffles
Beautiful.
Fair.
All missiles away.
Bob trying to get some space done over through B, but has to be ready for
Fuck
this,
yeah.
and just simply put, is not 5v3. Post
gonna
plant
aggress.
seems
We
likely,
know they're gonna
but It's gonna be a
aggress.
tough hold for Blue Otter.
They have to.
Spike
Stick
planted.
together. Trade this shit. There we go.
Great pressuring by Spaz this whole
Bait
time.
the neon, bait the neon. Jump around.
Now again, an overextension from Blue Otter.
Dude,
Fireball.
what?
How do you find a second there?
What?
Continuing to keep these interesting.
It's actually unreal
These
some of the
moments
ways
where
that they've
Blue Otter members
played
just
account.
brag.
It's insane,
Extra kill
bro.
out of nowhere. Still though, so much work to do in the margins where Shopify continue to come up
Nice.
just fine. So that's
Like
a
the
full
first one
reset
always
for the
makes sense,
eco
and
here
then they like
on
are
Blue Otter's
strafing
half.
away but shooting a few more bullets,
We
and they
have
always
come
just
full
kill
circle to
someone
the
through a
point where
wall.
Shopify is
Yeah.
as prepared on the defense
like-
as Blue Otter evolved to be.
I hate using the word
Issue
because
is
it's like
Shopify's aiming is
it's like disrespectful, but like it's like accident kills almost. Like some of them, like the collapse through the smoke, it feels like
the round's about to be cashed out.
like fuck.
And then they make
Like-
this heroic comeback opportunity.
Like,
Yeah, it
let's get
really
some of
has
those
been a big
ourselves.
difference maker
Exactly.
across
Like,
the
when's
board
our
here. I mean,
turn?
I
Faith
want some
with
of
a fire
those.
Restart BCJ has been rock solid the entirety of this round, the entirety of this map, rather, I should say. And now you're starting to deal with some financial straits that Blue Otter we're going to have to consider as we get closer to
Oh, not yet.
match point, your map point for SRB. So conversations to come through as Shopify Rebellion hold a pretty significant advantage here late into this map. And I think the biggest thing about it is the operator, I think, is still in play here for SRB. So they're going to have to really work on what they want to do execution-wise here if you're Blue Otter, just to try to get some clean entry. And I don't know if you can really bank on, you know, what you had early, which was, you know, just a full flood down B long. Not anymore, especially with the op in play.
Yeah, now there's even more hurdles to jump, and the whole thing about the kit that Blueotter has to get onto a site is just about kind of reducing the need to even deal with those hurdles.
Let's
right?
go!
Just sequencing your site.
Let's get it!
Keep away with the
old
salvo and the
again.
recon and these vines, and setting yourself up for the long term. Shopify continue to pound on that door. And,
oh, congrats, by the way,
setups
Isaac. Yo,
continue
my
to,
goat.
to change your
Those
pancakes.
are beautiful
maybe
pictures,
a
by the
little
way.
more forward and Spaz.
Huge congrats.
Big chilling with just this Nebula Into on B site.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that they want to put the operator into that close corner at mid.
Yeah.
Smoke is out. Spaz kind of has to give up the site for now. Retake tool would likely be a Cosmic Divide. A little bit of spam coming through. Connects on to Fair, but... oh, that's the one that matters.
Our turn.
Bob will drop. Plant will still come through.
Okay, retake
But
a
now you
wall
gotta look at
now.
this lurk from Fireball. It has to be there, but Pancake's very aware of it. The Hunter's Fury
Nice,
kind of
put it on the
provides a bit of a
timings.
smoke coverage for Paint right there for 2.
Yo!
And a
Knows
flash
how.
for 3. Shopify on map point.
Let's
Keep in mind,
fucking go.
Blueotter's pick. And I don't
I
know
honestly
what
get
the
scared now when I
economy's
see
really gonna
teams
look
at
like here for
11
Blueotter.
rounds on this map.
Yeah, this
There's
was
like a
your one
trend.
shot.
Sorry, what was that?
And again, they
I get scared when I see a team has 11 rounds on this map now after all those G2 games.
Oh my god.
really tragic. It forces Blue
I mean, part of me is like, man, 100 Thieves and EG really let that slip. And then part of me is like, the fucking resilience on G2 and like confidence in their system and like how they've evolved as a team from like the
Yeah.
early days. Like, bro, they close out those games now. Like those games aren't like they're collapsing. Like
I mean,
you have
you
to
have to-
fucking kill them. Like,
You have to give them their flowers because it's like they're down like 6 rounds, 11-5, 11-6 or whatever,
every time-
and you make one mistake and they just
Collected.
own you
Paint
for
connects
it.
onto another though.
Let's go,
5v3 Fireball
Close it out, sure.
has been seen over towards our
Let's
Paint, still
fucking
not
go.
missing. And it just kind of feels like composure's been lost a little bit here from Blueotter. It's so tough, man. This map honestly could be 12-8 the other way with how many heroic moments we've nearly seen get past the finish line for Blueotter. Just haven't quite been able to have it. I think the first blood tally is likely going to tell the story here. Just in terms of how many advantages Shopify had early. Not to call this round done yet, though, because Blueotter have, again, had some miracle works in the mix of these late rounds in odd man situations, but doesn't feel very likely.
First potential victim into the gutter.
One enemy remaining.
it's a gutter.
She won't get
Let's
anything
go!
Defenders win.
And neither will Fireball.
Get them all going!
On the lurk.
And this next map should
Bring
be
'em out!
Slaughter,
Exciting as it
right?
is frustrating seeing 5 players on
Correct.
Blueotter
Haven.
have these heroic moments, these abilities to just absolutely dominate lobbies and even play them well as a team together, but only see them as flash in the pan moments. Across the board, Shopify Rebellion Black displays that consistent talent, and that's how you stay in this Swiss stage, unfortunately.
Yeah, it definitely is like if you were to spark notes like that first map, it legitimately comes down to just the good old like it's so close yet so far. And again, I do think that when we look back over it, the first blood tally will likely give us the indication of how this map went. Blueotter are fighting, but that is their map pick now done and doesn't go their way. So Shopify Rebellion looking to kind of get themselves.
Yes, we can still make playoffs. Oh wait, the other game is still going on. What's happening? Okay, why is it not? There it is. We on the second map. Who won the first? Landor. Double. Okay, 3v5 pistol.
Spike planted.
What's up? Dodge is done.
Last player standing.
Ooh, yeah, Bob's sketch has to be fucking crazy, right? Like, I don't know how she's doing it. It hurts my soul to even think about it. Like 85 strats you gotta remember. Like what? Like what default? Bro, how crazy is that? Bob literally played for FlyQuest yesterday against us, and now playing Blue Otter against our other team today. But I was like, wait, what default am I actually running today? Like, are we doing like literally learning 2 different defaults for 2 different teams?
That sounds like you'd just be juiced 24/7.
Bro, my brain would be so scrambled.
I guess it wouldn't be so bad if you were like, for their role, like playing Teo on a bunch of these maps right now. But imagine, like outside of this meta, if you have to play like, oh, this team wants to play like Fade on this map, and this other team wants to play like Sova on this map.
That's true. Yeah, what if you have different scan initiators, bro?
Which plays duelist for FlyQuest?
Yeah, a bunch of raids. Yeah. Honestly,
Okay,
she's the goat. That's what I'm saying.
Literally just impossible then.
Yeah.
Forget different like initiator agents. You're just going from like entry to like third in.
Toxin screen down.
Whoa. Oh shit. I'm watching Landor core for a sec.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no.
Spike down A. Thrifty.
Brutal. They fucking lost Thrifty. Oh, that's why. Holy. Sorry, chat. I'm super nervous about today, but also like, I don't know. I just got done yapping off of flat chat for like a while, so I'm also like kind of yapped out. Oh shit! First blood core. Core bought back. Big trade. Oh no. 3v3. That's a bit much, no?
Right there.
Why would I want to do that though, Sinking?
Toxins going up.
Get wrecked. Bitch! Bitch! I was like, how can I respond to this without actually saying it?
Spike planted.
Yeah, I was like, fuck, how do I get back right now without using the word? Huge 2-on-2 right now. Who do you think has the best chance out of the Americas teams to win Toronto? Who do you think has the second best chance?
One enemy remaining.
Great util, by the way, at Landor. Damn, that was a really good util.
I think G2 probably has the best chance because I think, contrary to what people believe, I think it actually won't be that hard for them to transition to a different meta compared to some of these other teams.
True.
And I think Sen would be my second pick because I think that team has looked a lot better now that they have like narrate on the main initiator on like most maps instead of breach. I think that was like a pretty huge change for them. But on some maps, it'll be a little bit interesting to see like what they swap John QT to. Like the maps where he plays Teo, like Pearl.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, people that are calling like Trent a one trick. I don't know if people are doing it tongue in cheek. I'm doing it tongue in cheek in my co-stream every now and then. Trent is insane on like every agent, bro. And he's definitely gonna play a lot of Sova.
There's just so many Valorant viewers, and I think this game has always been very recency biased, but I swear there's just so many people that don't remember like what happened the year prior, or they just weren't like watching then.
Yeah, I don't know what
Because
that was all about.
like, I'm sure you see it sometimes where you see like comments where people say something like so confidently, but it's like factually incorrect. Like whether it's like what team someone was on or like how that team did or like what agents they played, and they're just like absolutely wrong. But I don't know if it's because they're like new to the sport or if they're just like flying on the internet for fun.
Almost hit. What is weird though is I was looking at their Pearl when we were kind of discussing it on Plat Chat, and I saw like, oh, some of these maps Jonah's playing like Fade, and I don't think they're gonna run double scan. I know he can play. He's probably gonna go KO or some shit, but yeah, it's a big change for him. Yeah. And I know he can do it. Obviously. Ooh. Nice transfer.
I think people are trying to make it out to be more of a thing than it actually is for that team.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I actually have more faith in them being able to switch metas than some of these other teams right now.
I think so too. I think there's a lot of cope in like the hate watching of G2. Like they have so many hate watchers. It's crazy. Because there's so many like Sen, 100 Thieves, and like pre-established fans of like all these other teams. And there's really not much to dislike about the G2 players. Like they're all fucking nice dudes. Josh is like a nice coach. Like they're
all just like normal.
Like yeah, even Leaf. Like it's very tongue-in-cheek humor. Like it's nothing like too serious. They're all willing to do like analyst tests and like speak publicly about their team. They speak very positively about like some of their opponents and the matchups and each other. It's like very hard to not like them.
Yeah.
It's very hard. So I think people are just like, oh man, fuck this team, bro. There's nothing to hate. There's nothing to hate. They just fuck. They're gonna suck next meta. That's like literally all they got. They're grasping so hard.
I also imagine G2 probably has like Anders. The reason I thought they were bringing him on was like to prep some of the stuff for like a future meta change.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's a great pickup by G2. And honestly, like, I love that, what that means. Like, just as an outsider looking at G2, when they, like, brought Anders in, I was like, how is there room for more ideas? Like, I don't understand. The team is already, like, looking pretty much perfect. Like, do they need more ideas? Like, but it shows, like, a humbleness out of Josh or Valen or wherever that decision came from to even be willing to have another voice in the room is like fucking, that says a lot about that team. It really does. Because they didn't need to bring in another coach and they did it anyway. Like it's fucking, yeah, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. They have the right mindset, like through and through.
In Blueotter, but as we look over onto Haven as well, I think I'm also excited to see that because we are expecting that Neon to also run it back there for Paint, and after a performance like you had
just so
Pearl,
fun, yeah.
You can only expect great things from SRB on map 2.
I mean, what a great tempo set, right? Like, this is someone, like, you have the bigger maps, you have that space.
I'll put something away real quick.
Running it back on one of the best maps to do it again besides Lotus on Haven. I think it's such a great spot for Paint to kind of like show, once again, if you're just joining us on the broadcast, exactly who he is, why he's here. If you just joined us at the beginning of the broadcast, you see he's focused in that video. He is someone, like you talk about, that cool, calm demeanor is exemplified by not only that beginning of the video where he's like, some people just don't want it enough, you know, et cetera, summarizing what he said, but you see it in his gameplay. And of course, we'd be remiss if we did not highlight the folks that helped make that happen, whether it's Muncie calling or you know, Vape and the coach, etc. But he is just someone, if you're, again, just joining us, keep an eye on him on Haven. That is a Neon's playground. Oh, way back in the day. We're talking like Baby Bay, Victor days. It started then, the Neon Haven, right? And now we're here and kind of this reinvigoration of that meta. I want to pose a question to you, Gompers, because you talked about what you wanted to see moving forward from Blueotter. What adjustments would you specifically like to see for Haven? Because this is Shopify Rebellion Black's pick. That, you know, Shopify Rebellion took Blueotter's map pick of Pearl. You know, we can talk about the confidence or pressure or whatever for a while, but, you know, adjustment-wise, what do you want to see them make going into Haven?
I think for Haven, I mean, a lot of the difficulty that I saw here in Pearl is that, you know, I did talk about before they have great holds for Blue Otters, but I wasn't seeing that. It was a lot of lack in utility.
Oh, what do you think?
It felt almost...
I'm not sure if you want to. If you don't want to comment, you don't have to say anything. What do you think about Energy picking up Scuba?
I think Scuba's always been good. I was kind of surprised that this is like the second time he's kind of played, like swapped to Sentinel in his career, right? Because I feel like he started on Controller, swapped to Sentinel, went to Controller, and is now back to Sentinel on Qbert.
Yeah.
But I think he's really good. The only thing that I'd be worried about is he's kind of like a passive player. And if they're trying to do like a 1-for-1 with a passive player to like another passive player, I'm not sure like how that works within that team.
Yeah.
Because I think having another, like, especially on like a Senti role, like really aggressive player, all the teams that usually do that works out pretty well for them. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a team where they have like a really, obviously Scuba skilled, but like a really aggressive player on that role. Like those teams always do very well.
That's true. That's a really good point. I think Scuba's an insane player, like an incredible anchor. Yeah. I missed a couple of their games when he was playing Senti. I think I missed like one of them. So
It's only been recently.
Yeah. I wonder if he knew he would get the call up, like if he went Senti, or if it was like we would rather have Redux on this role.
I'd imagine it's more of a Qbert thing. I don't think he could really predict that, but
yeah,
because I think they like kind of Redux on smokes and stuff like that. But yeah, I've always liked Scuba though. Like we even looked at him way back when, but he is very much like a anchor kind of like lurky type of guy. He's not really a I'm gonna take like instant fights like off barrier type of person.
True. Yeah.
He's gonna like play around his util and play like a really long round and like make sure he stays alive.
Yeah, he's like a late round player. He'll like anchor sites, clutch rounds. He won't make a lot of like early round fuck ups. Like you're not gonna look at the scoreboard and see like Scuba and fucking 6 first S. I highly doubt that'll ever happen like in his Sentinel run, unless it's like by design in the playbook for him to play aggro. Yeah, I think he's insane. By the way, I know we picked this map, but I know we also struggle sometimes against these ults on this comp. So I'm a little worried here. I'm a little worried. Yeah, just the snowball effect of this comp is brutal when the ults come online. I feel
that's
like
the one thing that's nice about Yoru on this map. When you play against ISO, you do that trick where you put the clone on the site in front of everyone.
Yeah, and when the ISO pops ult, you have like a second or two window, like probably 1 second window to like pop the clone, so the ult takes the clone in.
Yeah, and then he's just stuck in his ult for like 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know. I think like when you play this comp and you're on defense like this, you almost have to start well, like start like moderately well at like worst. Because if you start poorly and the other team is like up 2-0 or 3-1, hypothetically, if they like lose bonus, win first gun, their ults come online and it is very hard to stop
First time we've ever seen ISO on this map, so I think we're all assuming how we know this is going to go. And I think it does just put a lot of pressure on the fair. Like, you got to be good on the entry. Got to have it. And we'll see exactly how they want to cook that up. I think the interesting thing about this composition, though, is like, you know, one of the things I feel like we've seen teams deter away from playing the ISO is largely due to the power that Breach Tejo have. Like, doesn't matter if you have a shield that stops a bullet. If you're concussed and blown up by salvos, it doesn't matter. So,
does that cam see into short at all, or is it just for like the long walk up?
Versus not being hit by all this incoming utility you're going to be getting from Shopify.
A bit of short, but not enough that they should rely on it, I don't think.
trap this Blueotter squad on the attack if
Because I
Shopify
think
is able to
you
get his active
can get pretty close with
in the
that
pre-plan
cam.
as they were last half, then should be able to seal a lot of these rounds up before Blueotter even gets on site. No intel given away just yet, though. Big creep up to the B door where this
Actually,
first
no,
trap
on that
wire is
wall, I
going to
might
be lit.
actually see the whole short
Back up
entrance.
through. Bonzi trying to combine. Yeah, and that's the thing. I was going to say, Farewell actually does make good on the shield. That you get stunned up like that, it can sometimes be
25
difficult to
HP.
dance with. But Monzi for first blood. Check from paint. Doesn't see anything through long. Does he get a scout out of what's happening through
Use
garage,
the
though?
timing.
Another shoulder come through. Some damage is there.
Damn,
and
bro, we got
no kills
timing.
for SRB's defense. And that'll be an easy plan
That's
for
so
Blueotter.
unlucky for
It's
Payne,
important to
honestly. He
note
was like
that
half a second off of
that
seeing the
kill
guy
didn't come through
C-long
for
off
fair.
his
Fair
jump
didn't
spot the
get
first time.
That second shield, he
Yeah.
would have died to the salvos. They would have gotten another proc on him and,
Yeah.
and
Ooh,
killed
nice
him
shot,
before
Bob.
the rest
Fuck.
of Blueotter could have gotten on site.
Damn.
Preemptive engagement not going the way of Shopify. Post-emptive not either. That was a nice early clear of
pistols.
the B site that went their way. With those pistols, it's definitely a lot more in the cards with how much they have to offer in the solo.
All right, we
particularly
got to
with
stop the snowball now.
Fair, but it's a perfect time to talk about Bob's ability to make that distance while Fair gets those close range fights in, because she's already made quite a bit and is at the top of the leaderboard thanks to those 2 extension kills on this Yoru that she has been leaning into just a tiny bit for FlyQuest stretch. She's been doing pretty dang good over there.
Yeah, that's for sure. We'll see more game changers soon. Soon TM.
Yes.
Tro.
Recon Dart trying to get over to try to stop say anything from where BCJ was positioned, but instead we get the first contact down C long with the Outlaw to connect.
They did the thing where they hid in the smoke left side.
No immediate commitment here, even though Shotfire Rebellion do still have
Going
3
in,
members here. There is
BCJ
the check
did
after the
this,
fault
didn't they?
line. A rundown comes through.
That was like
Blueotter are
100
aware
Thieves or
of that.
something,
Don't want to
maybe.
get caught.
Yeah, it
Throw your
was, yeah.
traps, get the heck out of there, and move your way into A, which is wide open.
Yeah, waltz right in.
Yeah, you
After
could do that,
everything else is
Coxer, yeah.
exhausted.
Honestly, this comp is so annoying
Still
to
don't.
play against when they're on like their
Couple back
anti-eco.
checks on the way.
Because they just like prod
That
into
Shopify
C,
will fall
prod
right
into
into.
A, like their duelists are just perfectly
Again, getting
comfortable
on
just
top of it
walking
early.
into sight
Negating
to see
Yeah.
if you're there. It's so hard.
Yeah, the Yoru can literally like
Very clean so far.
go all the way up, gate crash literally back to their spawn, or to across the map. They could clone up and you shoot the clone. They realize like 3 there. They go to the other side. They ISO shield fight you. Like it's all so cringe, man. They have a cam to clear stuff, which is what we just saw. It's just pain. This comp is so annoying on attack.
You have to make that sacrifice. So you don't get 1 tap, of course. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. You all know it. But I think the thing is, like, so
It's always
far
the
so
middle
good
of
in
Haven
terms of
defense
Blueotter,
that
like,
gets really
not
hard
getting caught on any trap plays
when they
first and
start
foremost,
getting ults, since
which
like your
maybe
ults
just
versus
leans towards
theirs.
the fact that like Shopify Rebellion just
Usually
don't
the
want
first
to play
like
that
few
kind of
rounds
game.
and like the later
we didn't
few
see it
rounds
at
of
all
the
in
half
map 1.
are
We're
the
not seeing it all
easiest.
here. Very reactionary from SRB, and Blueotter are capitalizing early.
That's a big
On
win.
seat, first peek out of the B door, and now Blueotter will make
Oh
themselves
my
an
god, I got
audience
spammed.
here in the courtyard. Gonna try and save guns, save
Don't give them
face,
this.
save themselves a piece of this A site that'll be a little more abandoned. But BCJ, nice little 2-step to slow him down. Where's this setup?
I'm scared about Bob right now, Loki. I'm terrified
Yeah.
Bob's gonna walk in B and get a
Shotgun
staring
kill.
at
all in the
front
back of
B.
the site.
Yeah.
Zeke not going to commit the other at the moment.
Wait, what is
Yeah,
this
most
trip
of
that
these
Jake
IGL.
has at C? I've never
Into
seen this
B.
one.
You do have spaz.
Yeah, what the
in
fuck is that
sight
trip? I don't know.
Long. You also have pancakes
That's
It's
odd.
like connected to their ground.
That will work. Decoy.
We killed
Mere
2 Bobs that round.
inconvenience, as it's all down to Zeke trying to hold this post plant. I'm trying to go for the long route. Nope,
A
can't
real
do
Bob,
that.
then a fake Bob.
And there's going to be a walk down here from Paint.
Ooh.
Oh, what a snap.
Hey.
Ooh.
That's one that gets, you know, the heart rate.
That's a
going little bit for
nice
Paint. Like,
flawless
oh, okay,
to get,
I'm,
by
I'm
the
that
way.
guy. All right.
That, I fucking love that flawless against this comp. I said like the reset on the 4th round. At least now we might avoid the reset because we had a flawless.
Yeah. Honestly, they haven't really farmed any of their main ults yet either.
Really, that's
Like
a fucking
ISO's at
record, right?
3, Yoru's at 4.
A very exclusive club.
Surely they had a
Who's at the
rifle
very
that
top, has
BCJ
been
could
able to
upgrade
kind of
to,
just,
right?
Nah, I'm better. Their way through
Like
a lot
a
of the
Vandal?
fights.
Am I crazy?
Detail swings. But here in this stage, it's
didn't
come up
see
time
where
and time again
everyone
where teams are
died.
like, "Are you better though?" Like every time. And
They kinda had a really
it's
bad
been
buy.
Quite the hurdle for some of these
Yeah.
teams to just hop over. That'll definitely, yeah, that'll get your heart rate pumping for sure if you're paying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, yeah, let's see how active he gets now that
Attack
the guns
side
are
op.
equalized. Bob on the op though, we'll pay attention to that.
Yeah, not what you would expect, I think, just with this double duelist setup. Ooh, good reveal onto Pancakes. That will get some free garage control. Pain thinking about it. Oh, line
Yes.
assists.
Good punish,
Really well
dude.
done. So
Oh, I seen that
That'll be
trip.
Pancakes for first blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
the
now
diagonal
all of a
one.
sudden this offense
Yeah.
feels,
It just looks
you
really
know,
weird on the
very
mini map.
soft.
It
Just due to the
does,
fact that
yeah.
You've got an operator in play. Like, if you're sitting as the defense, you know, you're not going to know it's here, but really, at this point, you just don't overpeak anything.
By the way, that was sick.
Beat
Jake
coming to
collected
front
that
zone,
trip that we
they
were talking about and put it in spawn to
will
play
force a couple
retake.
of contact plays
Oh,
and
no.
fireball outside, sees the barrel, sees the front of the hat.
Such an
finds the
awkward
headshot,
spot to
now
be
numbers
in.
for the Blueotter.
You almost just have to like
Shopify
go
were
into
able to corral
spawn
Blueotter into
and
only
just like
one
hold an
option,
off
but that
angle.
option was taken with so much.
Oof.
Great
Fuck,
aim.
man.
Fair. Getting away with a whole lot there on the B creep.
Fuck.
There's always going to be one option left when it comes to Haven, and Blueotter clearly going to put the pedal to the metal when they recognize that it's the only one they have at any given moment.
Yeah, they're one off
Keep it
ice
to
ult.
upstairs,
Should
they
probably
get
do
their
like
chunk,
a
save their
denial C
piece,
long here.
And Blueotter carve out the C site of the map that time around.
Spencer
Well
wants to
played
watch part. Oh,
by
dude,
them.
I would definitely be
Shopify,
down.
A great enabling in the early round there to get Monty implanted.
Not for
Again,
this
massive
game, 'cause he
control
would
of
troll
the
me
asset,
and
that's what forced
it
this
would be
bottlenose,
painful.
But these opening chokes by Fair and Fireball really opened the map up for Blueotter.
That was just like a little, probably like a little bit of an unaware peek from Spaz where he died back B.
Weapons will be
just
purchased here for
Open the
Shopify Valley,
floodgates.
but some regenerative.
It's a pretty tough angle when there's walked in on that side because they're pretty
Mhm.
favored. You're peeking against
Off for
that
that.
gong.
Yeah, it
Defense
is.
continuing to feel pressure through garage. Pancakes will see two. Does have a couple of very strange traps set up
garage
here.
hella
That one in
fast.
particular on the top of the door,
What
just
the
to make sure.
This guy's like the
I don't know what.
Terminator.
But Fair is
Who's
gonna
that?
sneak
The
up
ISO?
inside. Spike will
Yeah,
follow up.
dude,
Yeah.
just like
Still
all
have
in.
Zoe
Yeah.
watching this garage window, which very well may be under threat.
Yeah,
Fair
they
will
have
follow
tail
up.
ult for retake.
Dude,
Trying to
what?
use the shield to his advantage, and that works out nicely. So again, the
God
ISO finding
damn
value
it.
here early.
And with that suppressed
And
toss
his
forward, that
ISO,
catches so
Jesus.
many members of Shopify. They'll all be
Some of their
stunted.
kills they get are just
Beyond
insane,
this
especially
smoke
this
on the
Fair
way,
guy.
Armageddon now ready to go, and here comes the push.
Well, Paint shut down. Kill contract is out. And the defense is just completely stuck on the
Once he won the
does win
1v1,
1v1
let's
inside
go.
the ult.
3v3.
So now you can try to reform here. Not a lot in terms of utility, though. They're breaking way back into the site, into the corner.
Oh,
Zeke will
fuck,
find
son.
two. Now it's just down to Monzi. and
Dude,
a late
it's gonna be
teleport
so
from
hard
Pistol
now. Fuck,
will
this is what I was
absorb
worried
the line of
about.
sight and allow Blueotter to capitalize for a fourth.
More than enough to throw at things here again after Fair gets those steps forward. Exactly what you're asking of him on this map. To be the tip of that spear
Fuck.
just about every single time. So fights have to be taken
It's
with
literally the scenario I was saying.
a lot of
Fuck.
hindrance from the rest of the team when it comes down to these starts and pre-plants over in the courtyard in particular.
They
Having
are
to
shooting
out
hard, but we're getting
to go for
first
that
bloods
in-play
and we're
on
just
the
like
B
not
side is really
converting these
difficult.
No,
rounds.
the one thing about
First one
this
with the
comp is
shield
I
up,
feel like you have to shut them
much
down at
faster
C
gun down the
at
B
some
door
point
for
in the
him
game.
and Zoe this time around.
Well, quick hit on the way. And wow, Fair is just not losing gunfights right now. His opening firsts have been great for the side of Blueotter.
What?
Ridiculous.
Trade is out though, so we
The
go
gun?
4v4. Paint still does not have
Oh no, I made noise.
overdrive ready to go. So it's just
Good
down to what you can
trades.
find with pistols for the most part. But Spaz inside the site has an angle, lots of damage, but can't find the kill. Can you follow up on this? Spaz still
go.
playing inside. Nice shock dart coming through. Zeke trying to make this.
Fuck,
really happy on
man.
his
I feel
own,
like
but he's
the
got help.
rounds
Bob gets
we're
there.
getting kind of unlucky. Like, we're like, I mean, I think you make your own luck, truthfully, but the rounds could be breaking the other way. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they very well could be breaking the other way, and we're just, like, not converting a kill.
And they
Or
played
we're-
that round super well. Everyone's like jiggling people out so other people could like get on the side of them.
Yeah. Like, the fact that Spaz didn't get, like, a clean kill right there when two people crossed him not looking is just, like, fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
How much they've been able
So
to
it's
just
unlucky.
get bludgeoned outside of this seaside in particular. Timeout justifiably called because it's really hard to hold this, especially
Honestly,
when
I think you
Bob
guys
is
can
staring
play
down your
more
goat the whole
against
time with
this
the
comp.
operator
It's pretty
on
good
the
to play
lane.
for like B, garage,
So,
and C. and just leave a guy towards A, like Teo, just kind of solo controlling it. And that way, like, if they do anything fast B or C or garage, you're just all there to fight them at once.
These sites that Shopify has to let go of in order to go for the overwhelming map.
Because I don't know, this comp, if they figure out that you're just playing like off C a bunch or retake C, it's so easy for them just to start like bullying you there, like really hard by walking up and saving all their util.
Yeah, especially now with like Hunter's Fury with the ISO vuln on the retake. I mean,
yeah.
It's so annoying.
Any eagerness to play for anything off the get-go. Like, it is very reactive from them. They haven't really gotten aggressive through A at all. They haven't even poked out even in towards sewers. And outside of a little bit of a shoulder peek on pistols through C long, we just have not seen them.
I signed on, you didn't message me, and I was like,
information. It's very reactive.
I quit.
And it has not worked for them. This time Paint will try to go op for op by holding this 1 pixel angle on A long. But Bear, no, does not have the shield up, so he will fall. A little bit of panic there from Paint, not the smoothest utility from a Neon we've seen, but is fine for a 5v4.
Probably panicking after realizing that he killed
You can see how confident the Cypher is now, just like walking all the way up. Because they've been playing off a bunch.
You toss up the shield on any old peak. Just got to do that once you brandish that operator. But again, that pressure on that A site to make sure that Paint's potential death doesn't go unchallenged opens up the C side again. So Blueotter gonna just barrel it down there. Fun plant by Zoe. It won't get anything done. That is very big.
Yeah, because if you find that pick, if you're Zoe, that's no Rolling Thunder, which is essentially what Shopify are banking on for this retake. They won't need it now, though.
He broke the clone for Adam. I like that a lot.
They shouldn't use it now. They've got numbers. Bob would have to snap.
That was such a good bait.
Connect on to probably have a chance at this. Misses the first. Stun is out. Zeke only gets one.
All right.
And yeah, Bob is just going to play through long with the op. And Paint will be right there to try to match it. Monzi just going to hold it. No worries here. And Shopify will get a key second round. The eco will also start to build up a little bit for the defense, while Blueotter are now looking down a Hunter's Fury and maybe a Dimensional Drift for the first time here soon.
But still stalwart. Still, you know, zero need or
I believe Bob was the first.
The attack off hasn't really gone.
There's been quite a few.
Back even further in the recliner by giving Paint that operator, which he's going to stick to this
Our
round
whole
as
squad
well.
was in.
Not sure where he's going to get inserted this time around, because.
But I want to say Bob was the first, right?
I mean, Blueotter are going to completely rethink how they approach things.
Yeah.
Fair's shield on these pushes, but he's just going to cut it down sewer.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I thought I remembered that co-stream. We were like pogging out about that last year. I was like, I don't remember. What the fuck? What the fuck? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
What the fuck? My stream light. What the fuck's going on? What's happening right now?
Monzi's barely gotten into sight. Fair gonna still peek, even while Concussed will take two with them.
Oh man, I come back in and we're losing.
Spike not on sight yet though, and both Cyphers, very well may find each other on this lurk. Pancakes with a check, finds the win. Still doable. 2v3 though, post plant.
I'll try and catch in Spaz early. He's already in front of this to try and farm some stuff out. Pancakes meeting him here. Attempted retake is Bob with this op early on to force the first peek out, and now the double up for Spaz. Pancakes has to react quickly. We'll grab one from on high, but forced to drop down. He's got to double up on the peaks and just can't get that done. Keeping it
we didn't see that
tidy
round,
is
so it didn't
Blueotter
happen.
here, who do their homework up that A lane. Takes a lot of the ISO util to shield outside of the moving wall. But if it's that committal, if Blueotter's going to be setting up shop there, doesn't matter. Especially if you're able to take care of Paint without losing a body.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations, like, that's such a bold peak from Fair.
I think we need to, like, counter map aggress more. Like you said, it feels like they're just kind of like seesawing AC, and if they lose the first blood, they'll just go B a lot of the times. Like, just walk in B.
Oh, yeah, you've had Dimensional Drift to play with.
Now we're dealing with the ults, so it doesn't really matter.
Bob will take a rifle this time.
Because your guys' comp is really good for, like, flooding, obviously, but it's kind of hard.
And yeah, kill contract will come through. That will pull in the 1v1 on the picture. Fair able to win that one with ease. And that will lead to an immediate 5v4 post plant, but here we go again with the Neon antics. 4v4. Stun gonna come through. Paint looking to move quickly. Decent damage, but doesn't close the close corner. And Fireball, is just gonna lock this one down completely.
Oh my god.
else could go the choke with
Like
him.
Can't be left unsaid how
Almond
much of a raid boss Paint has
char-
had to be
like
on
shard
Haven
of an
defense for
almond
Shopify in order to
stuck in my
give
throat
them as
right now.
solid a record as it is. And if Blueotter is able to continuously deny him, as they have these past 2 rounds, in which Paint did try to become that tank, then
I think Flora will consider NA tier 2.
a lot of the rest of this
I don't know. I
exec
think she
is
said she wanted a break
pretty
for
by
now,
the book
right?
for
So
Blueotter. They're doing a lot of the things that you see other teams do. You are seeing the
I
blueprints
think she should play tier
that
1,
these guys have
but
written oh so well.
it's her choice, truthfully.
Far from the
like,
fragmented Pearl
I don't
before.
know.
Does that translate to the defensive half? It depends on the proactivity. Again,
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was just very stressful over there in Europe for her.
Does Bluewater
It's
do
a
the
lot to
same
deal with.
thing with this ISO Euro
And
duelist
she's
core that they've got?
probably
If they
just
went
need
back
some
to
time.
mixing in some like
Yeah,
garage
there
traps,
hasn't been a
some
response at all for
mid-walks, like maybe
Shopify,
even
honestly.
like the C-long insert or something like
And
that.
I think that's
just having
that's
like some
concerning.
space to work
You know,
with.
looking at how Shopify have played, again, just no contact off the initial 30, 45 seconds. It's all been reactive defense. And you really don't have an option here because you've got 2 Buckies and a Vandal, 2 Vandals rather. But it's just odd to see Shopify Rebellion play this composition and not have any sign of aggression at all
ISO's
down
already
A
off
long,
bricks.
or really even into sewers.
They're already pretty dried up. You've condensed into this B site that they know Bluewater have been trying to twist the knife into. Again, such a ballsy first move from Paint, but there's the proactivity you're looking for on the gun diff round. Paint does not have the gun diff and is good for the one. Rest of Bluewater meet the makers, and they'll come up with the advantage, at least for now. Now that Cypher ultimate, the guaranteed position. Fair still wins the fight, and that's any chance gone this round.
Yeah, so it feels that way. Monzi would have to be a hero right here, right now.
I think honestly these last 2 rounds they just have to start taking space somewhere,
But
taking
there's no
early
exit.
fights,
Fireball on the
like
lurk
in
will
mid or
connect.
garage or just
Spike will be planted by
anywhere.
Zeke, and BCJ's got nowhere to go. Fireball's really stepped up.
They tried to just now, but like I wasn't really sure why it looked so sloppy. Like
Just bad guns overall.
yeah, like Paint tried to push front B and got Omen blinded and kind of just stood there spraying once he looked for a trade.
And
Yeah.
and of course, post
I know
second
flooding
time
always
now.
sounds
meta,
good in
Cyphers do
theory
have to be a little more
until
active
the
on the
other
site,
team,
letting these
especially with this comp, they
fraggers
just
take that
walk up
sentinel position
everywhere
has been
and you
a
feel like they
fun
can
way
just
to
be
let
like
them stretch their
everywhere
wings in
and
these post
anywhere,
plants, and
like at
Fireball's
the
been quite
entire map.
comfortable just
Like A,
holding
B,
up on
or
that
C, they
corner
just
and
have
let the
everything.
bullets fly. Doing a really consistent job so far of making sure that whatever Shopify has to offer, which again, they're trying to make it a lot, but it really doesn't feel like much at the end of the day. He just burns through it.
But yeah, I'd be down for like a
Very
garage
consistent aimer.
trap, a mid walk.
Just as
They're playing like very counter to our comp. Like they in the mid round and shit. Like they know that if like we have presence A, like the Cypher will solo walk up, break the trip, break the cam, and then we are like in the blind. We're totally blind of info at that point. Like because we're playing kind of off-site a little bit, and we're scared to like 1v1 challenge that player because it could be 2-3 players. We're not really sure, and that's I think we need to like counter map aggress a lot more. Like take space on the other side of the map while we're fighting with our main fight.
Yeah.
I thought that
putting-
round the setup wasn't bad. The way Jake was like aggro short. It's just the Bucky situation and then neural theft and
And map number 1 from Bluewatter's perspective.
Put Neon and Breach C
And
to
this is
counter.
why, like, again, like,
board
why have we
the
not
Sofa's
seen
one
that
off.
opening? It doesn't really make much of a difference. You just throw a contingency down and you just get fair into the mix. But I just feel like this has been a little bit too free. Blue will catch
this
one
ISO is
member
actually
over on the
fearless.
backside of the site,
yeah.
but not
Now
much
they
to
know
be done with
Cypher's
that as
on A
Pancakes
by
is still planted
himself.
pretty firmly behind a spy camp.
trying to see if that eggs on any other member of Shopify.
I
to
feel like they're just
Head
playing
head
super
on over to the A
loose.
site.
Damn, that hit Jake.
But after that time's allotted, they'll take the fight. See what they come up against.
Kill.
Good first.
It is still Pancakes, so they're jumping on. That's one fight down. He'll step back into the smoke, actually, and let the rest of Blue step on for now.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean,
take
you've
that
got
guy.
the neural theft tick again, and that's actually
Yeah.
some really good damage.
There's a cage for
on
the
fireball.
retake.
Spike will be planted, though.
The whole thing is cooked a little bit.
Post
Okay,
plant
we
can be
got
made safe
Cam
by
on
the
the
Hunter's
wall, ready
Fury,
to ping
which
this guy.
Zeke has backed up in towards A main. Defense doesn't really have much to work with outside of basic utility. Bob connect with the operator. So again, this Hunter's Fury,
Why is Adam
the
not
big key
smoking?
here for this post plant. And here comes the swing. Paint can't connect a single shot. Oh,
Let's
but there's
go.
the follow
Let's
up.
go.
That will work.
Okay.
3 straight
Needed
eliminations, all in
that's
quick
so bad.
succession. And Shopify Rebellion will get their 3rd.
Great chipping done to make that retake.
It always feels counterintuitive
trivial.
against this comp to like give
Nicely
them
toe with the
fights,
Cypher ultimate
but this
from
comp is so
Pancakes to be able
like
to,
deceptive
again,
with its post
have that
plans.
safety of being able to play for the long game a little bit. So at the end of the day, Shopify will build
We need
themselves up
BCJ
to a
to come
potential
online
4-8
for
half,
sure.
something they can absolutely salvage.
Silva ISO,
If
one
they
off
can take
ISO
this
ult.
round away, which
I bet that
they're going to key themselves up
surely they go C, right? Surely they go C.
Yeah.
once again on the operator.
Surely.
But Blueotter,
But the way
you
Fair
have
is
this
running
Hunter's
up
Fury to
A, I
able
wouldn't
to
be
play
surprised if he wants to do that again.
with the try and hunt someone down. Fair, 1 orb away from the contract as well to isolate Shopify. They could become as fragmented, as chokeable at a moment's notice.
Okay,
Hunter's
it's
Fury
okay,
out
Lobby.
early here for the offense.
Let's have some
Z
space now.
trying to put some pressure over towards A. But you've got to walk down from Spaz for the first time. Steltrum to clear out long. The defense can really rely on Monzi to
walking
rotate
again.
early over to C. Pancakes will again just be offering to give
Retake
this
of the
site
op's
up.
also gonna be kind of hard
And
on
it's going to
C.
be onto a full retake. You got the Armageddon this time, though. That's the big difference maker here for Shopify. And they get a first one from Payne. Maybe more, and yeah,
Beautiful.
he connects for 2. And in round 12, yep, you have Spaz working on C long. You wait for him to clear, and then
Wait,
you
does
just throw an
Silva pop his
Armageddon
ult
down. You just
flash
reach
round?
onto the site.
No, he popped it this round.
Zeke is the only
At
thing that
A.
could possibly stop this, and that first is good. But no,
Good
you're not
play.
going to be able to hold on to the site itself. Zeke is stuck.
Let's go. 4
Flashes
is
are
great.
good.
Okay.
And SRB will get 2 in a
Ooh,
row.
good bounce back
Take
here.
it to an 8-4 half as we swap.
We could do this.
Fun little speed run of the first half of that round. A good Hunter's Fury from Zeke to keep a lot of the action over on the A side as Blueotter walks up. But
Yeah, I was
with
surprised
that
they
cam
didn't
from Pancakes, they get
I
the
was
intel
surprised
early,
as
they
fuck
dash
they didn't give
back
that ISO
over,
the plant, by the way.
and
They had so much
Pancakes with that
time.
double
I
kill
thought for
from the
sure
garage
they were
window,
going to shuffle the spike to the
forcing
ISO.
Blueotter to again play solely from
was
sight.
very
and the
happy
lane,
when they didn't.
Very predictable positions at this point in the map. Shopify play into that beautifully. Just in time for us to swap sides, just in time for us to see just how foot to
let's
the
get this
floor
pistol. Come on.
this attack half is going to be for Shopify Rebellion Black. They're back in their comfort zone. By all accounts, will they work with it as well as the fans expect?
Brick
them
by
to?
brick, chat. Let's
we
do
go
it.
3? Do we go to
Yeah,
a
but
set?
I'm gonna do shockable on the day.
A lot riding on this pistol. And again, it does feel like when we've seen this composition of the past for Blueotter, it tends to be a little bit less effective
This guy's just running up.
defensively. And, well, Fair was hoping for a one-on-one contact to try to take something away, but instead meets 4 members of Shopify.
What's
up, bitch?
Zeke just trying to get some sort of a sound cue. We'll have a little bit of help from the dark cover plus paranoia, but
Oh god, the
how
cipher.
about this? This is such a bold play from Fireball. And
No
it may
way,
work
bro.
out perfectly.
No way, no way,
In
no
fact,
way, no way. Jump, jump,
it
jump,
very
jump,
well
jump, 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 jump.
be a
Good awareness!
round-winning
Let's
setup,
fucking
but
go!
no, Monzi too aware of it. Deals with it, and now
Holy
you can join
fuck,
Pancakes
dude.
on site.
Holy
He's played
fuck, that
these
scared the fuck
games
out of me.
before, and so is Fireball.
Woo!
Every check done as they make that mad dash over to C site. They recognize the kind of speed that Blueotter can come with as well. There's not enough to make it back to C in time for this spike to go down, and the spam will not do that much.
I like Muncie's fault line he has out.
Well, this crunch is going to have to work out perfectly. Trap deleted. Monzi will be responsible for this. Everyone else will, again, just keep their eyes on the choke points up front. Easy for the first.
fuck.
So only an angle for a moment. And now Shopify have just stacked onto site, and it's going to make this very difficult
Remaining.
Good trade.
for Blueotter to break back in. Bob, the last one left. 1v4, not a lot of time. Will just sacrifice their lives to the spike exploding.
They had such
You send
annoying like
yourself over to this
spacing the entire round,
after
like in
again,
A lobby when they went through the smoke. Like
unable
I
to make a
couldn't
dent.
select like one of them to shoot, and then
Great awareness from
jumping all the way
Shopify
through
Rebellion that whole
spawn.
time. The full-blown push to take care of Fair outside the smoke, and then double back after realizing how much time Blueotter's had to get over to the A site. You understand that you can win that race back over to C. You still check for Fireball
Quickly
ops.
see what's going on here.
No notes
Damn,
here
Landor's about to
on
win
the
the
pistol
core
round
series.
Yeah.
for Shopify's attack.
12-8.
Exactly what you want to look for them to be able to take this map back, make that climb back up.
I haven't watched
Still
too much of the Landor.
So much in the
team
cards,
overall.
though. Fair
Landor's been really good lately.
considering grabbing a
great.
sniper, but he will alleviate.
Double missile C.
That's the one with like moose bones.
Yeah, chaotic.
Same idea here from
Okay.
Fair. That works, though.
What a
Yep.
shot, dude. How does he send it?
So now you've got numbers, and these sheriffs can connect. Pancakes take some damage to the wall.
That's insane.
This makes this extremely doable.
He just
and
sent it
Bob
up
is going to
along
actually
and gets
sneak
that?
forward down grass. Zeke seen on the shoulders, but this is everything. And no, the gate crash will have Blue Otter kind of stacking towards A. No commitment again, though, from Shopify, just kind of playing with their food a little bit here.
Here comes Fireball. Trapwire is going to be ready for him this time, though. So he'll just
Let's have some
bear
space
witness.
now.
Be an audio cue to this stealth drone. BCJ manual check the
Haven't
B site
even
that they'll
really
creep
get
into.
that much
Fair
info.
check number 2. It's like he's walking through a busy sidewalk. He's like, "Excuse me, pardon me, just try to squeeze through."
Hey, don't mind me,
30 seconds left.
but here comes the play. Paranoia across the site.
What?
Blue Otter able to take down one more. Actually, a follow-up from Zoe is great. And then you've got Fair in the mix. So it's just down to Spaz with a stinger off the reload. Sprays down another in the top corner. Oh, now to the 1v1. It's Fireball with the Sheriff versus Spaz with the stinger. Contact is there, but Fireball connects and saves the round from what would be a 1v4 from Spaz.
A backyard brawl that Blueotter come out on top of.
Weapon here.
And it still comes down to a mountainous gun diff that you have to take care of.
And then they will die.
At the end of the day, though, that's a perfect execution from Blueotter after Shopify get a little too spooked again on the initial push. Double back into the B site. And the damage is done from there. Spaz putting up a hell of a fight with this stinger, but Fireball's locked and loaded. Finally getting that lurk somewhere.
God damn it, man.
And Blueotter, once again, the momentum is all theirs on the verge of double
The whole
digits.
round by them was
No doubt
kind of like
taking us to
crazy
ascent
kills.
here if all goes well.
Well, Salvo clears out Bob's position inside a garage, quickly taken by BCJ. Spam shots, though, still landing. Goodness gracious.
Damn, the ISO
Shopify
and
find themselves
your
in a bit of
show
trouble.
presence
Zeke
right
just
there.
waiting for contact, and we'll get a visual cue onto at least one.
Hero Vandal?
Gate crash sent back over towards the A side of the map for the quick rotation from the Yoru. But again, this is the same. This feels like just different map, but same game plan for Shopify. Just keep stretching. And yeah, I think Fair may have caught a couple of footstep sounds. And so now Fireball's aware that he should keep his gun up and only finds the opener. That's going to be a gun collected.
It's another mad dash, though, and you bet your bottom dollar whoever from Blueotter is here is going to react to it. It's going to be the guy that they want to do everything for
That was an
Blueotter
actual
this
maniac.
round. Fair steps
Dude, like,
out. Fair
what?
dies pretty dang quickly, and that's a lot of individual
shit.
responsibility placed on each member
Punish
of
that
Blueotter.
fucking
Swiftly
bullshit,
collapses
bro.
and puts us right back in a spot where
Damn.
Shopify can take the wheel again.
Yeah, I see the idea right there from Blueotter. You call out the double tap. Fair's the one who's going to try to get everyone to start looking at him.
Holy, man.
But when he misses out on the opportunity to get the win over towards logs, his teammates just don't have the ability to work their way in. And there may have been a little bit of miscommunication on
Holy
timing as
fuck.
well, because
Yo,
there wasn't
Jordan.
a lot of supply and
88
utility to
months?
help Fair out to try to
Holy.
keep him safe from that left
Hell
cross.
yeah, bro.
So he gets blindsided, and
Dude,
then
you
no
gotta come
reason
over,
for Shopify
or
to
we gotta
turn
go to
their
you.
heads. So everyone else just gets melted.
Yo, you're good, you're good.
Decent idea from Blueotter. Here we go. Quick fault line, followed up by a relay bolt, and there's
Beautiful.
nowhere to
fuck.
go. Whoa, for Bob, but Zeke with a
sick
classic
opening.
response. This game has
Oh
been
my god.
just full of hijinks and hilarity. Pancake's gonna get a 1v1 here with Fireball. Cyber Cage. Yeah, will deter a touch.
Bro, he's trying to get
Fair
the
gets
orb?
caught picking orbs though. And now we just gotta keep our eye on
No,
what
this
does
Fair
Zoe
guy
want to do
does
for
not
timing, and
respect
will
you
we
guys
actually get a
at
Cypher
all. I
1v1
can't
on the other
lie.
side of the map?
He's running
the
up into
commitment
A lobby in
and
the
the
first like
stick
2
from
seconds
Pain.
around on ISO.
Once again, chipping away. Preventing any member of Blueotter from getting too antsy. Still hanging out closer to the T doors. 40 seconds on the clock. Lot to play with to hold on to all of your guns here.
I feel
Just
like
to
he's
fully
having hella
snowball
impact though,
what
no?
will be a very long attack half here.
Yeah, feels
like-
that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
30 seconds left.
if Shopify is going to continue getting stopgapped like they have been on these A and C doors, then we are going to be here for quite a while. Because Blueotter, they've done a great job of really threatening these first bloods before Shopify get a word in edgewise.
It just, I don't want to like come across as like too critical here, but it just feels too cautious from Shopify Rebellion. Like
way too critical.
You've got
sorry,
it's
man.
Fine. That's fine. But like you've got like a breach Tejo. Like you should be breaking down these sites easy.
Yeah, you should.
And it just doesn't really feel like they've been able to find that kind of commitment, and that's just not part of their playbook. Which
I think we're playing fine.
You know, again, you can't
right
come across too harshly because right now it seems to be working.
I think
but it just feels odd
second
just looking at this composition,
the second
and seeing it
sketched
take
me
it to
out.
the last 15 seconds.
One enemy remaining.
We are in the advent of a switch in the meta, of course, with the new match coming into playoffs. The teams that are kind of straggling and catching up in this Swiss bracket are forced to kind of juggle 2 game plans. Of course, one is the priority here in Shopify, continuing to encapsulate that with this Tejo breach core that they're running.
That's actually kind of nice for us because we don't have any more timeouts.
I mean, meeting these individual fights
we take
halfway for Blueotter, they're going to be happening. Zostal is going to be using his TP ult early to grab intel on where SRB is stacked. I mean, Blueotter, they're going to try to make some headway as early as possible every time.
Chat, do you want a pred?
And so,
for this map?
Who do you put on
I'll give you
to
one
take that fight? Do you have Paint continue to just be the front of the death ball and say, hey, can you make sure that you can swing off of us properly and just keep the advantage going? Or do you start having him lurk and go for these extremity kills while the rest of your team has that more reliable util to just
what was that?
dump onto a site as they go, sort of like they did in that pistol.
In 2 days.
It is really tough to find a role
it's like a couple days.
Each of these players right now, despite the fact that individually
the 8th, so Thursday.
Oh, I see.
All right, we'll see how things kind of
Damn, they get kind of owned by
the formatting
playoffs ending later.
Yeah, it's actually so crazy how that happened, especially considering it's in our region. Like, obviously I'm stoked. It's like America's is like got a massive advantage here, but it is kind of whack that it's in our region and we get the most prep time.
Maybe not super quickly, but I feel like
I
they
just
get
don't get
intel
how
on, like what they're dealing with early.
all this stuff with global events
we'll
like
see if
is different for
mind
different
game
regions. Like
continues
this,
to develop.
obviously they had
We
a
get, like,
bunch
a
of
40
tech
game of
issues
chess
and stuff
here.
like that, but even like the
Or
group
is it
stage
like
thing, the
Shopify's
way it
trying
was
to play
drawn
chess
up
while Blueotter's
is
playing
different
checkers?
than how
Like, it's just kinda
China
hard
did
to
it,
tell
right?
which it is.
Yeah, doesn't seem very good. I don't like the format for the group stage retrial anyway, to be honest. That was a cool dart.
when your Sova's playing from a distance, so you're able to
Like the way
rest
that
in these corners a
America's
lot
did,
more
or just in
consistently.
general.
Again, that'll slow the
The
game down
Americas
consistently,
thing.
but it also allows
Oh
you to
God,
check
I got
out
timed
these
on that
trap wires
piece
a
so
little
hard.
more passively unless Fireball steps out and starts peeking you.
Fuck,
Now Paint gets
bro.
gets sprayed through and die.
He's gonna
Whoopsie.
push and ult that body.
But again,
Probably.
we know where Fireball is, so we should just be utility bombing A and getting into sight.
We should.
And we're not even using fault line. We're not throwing down dark covers. We're not throwing down paranoia. This just does not feel like the Shopify Rebellion Black from last
Well, it's
stage.
because they're playing rotation.
I don't know what it is, because now you got the neural theft to come through. Defense is trying to commit to it.
Shock
Pretty
or
huge
Sova
kill.
ult. Fuck.
Hunter's Fury is out.
30
Oh,
seconds
fuck.
left.
Missing, though. Last one down towards
Huge.
Hell also misses. And
Huge.
BCJ follows up. Oh, goodness, not like this. Nice one from Fair. Resets the shield, not once but twice. Kill contract will come through.
Oh my God.
BCJ gets one with the Armageddon. It's just down to the 1v1
Wait.
inside the kill contract. First shot,
Fuck.
Fair! And Fair takes down 3 to secure the
Too many
round for
people
Blue
pulling
Otter.
util out.
Really got to give credit to
Spaz was
BCJ.
playing, Munzie's at or fault lining, and then BCJ's pulling his ult out.
Yeah, I just think like when they killed that flank guy, maybe they weren't expecting him to just jump out heaven like before any util, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like he's just literally he's jumping out. What his teammate's droning and literally like just started the drone deep spawn. I don't know if you saw that.
And there are so many things
No,
that
I didn't see the drone.
Blueotter
I
could've
just saw that was like
offered
3v2, and
that
this guy's a
from Fair could've
maniac.
failed.
Yeah, break,
There
man.
are so many things in which Shopify still have to clean out of Blueotter at this point. And they're at 10. So on the run back
was
out,
that not a
Salvos
tag?
will flush him away. This is a bit of activity early on in Garage,
Love this.
but it'll have Fair creep up now. Fireball is no longer the lurker. It's
mean,
that
the
ISO
going
that's
time
been
is
fragging out so
very
heavily.
scary.
And the paranoia just puts Paint into this moment of kind of dire desperation. Fair now back in the mix once again, resets the shield, and Fair is getting it done themselves. Looking good for 11 here for Blueotter.
Jesus.
And Fair's not done. Could be good for the full 5-man
Actually,
ace.
was fearless.
Pancakes avoids him though. Fair's hunting
pretty
for
crazy.
it.
Used ISO last round.
We'll see
and
the
was
spike,
two
but we'll
off
not
again.
find Pancakes.
So crazy.
He's like, please, anyone but Fair. On the Outlaw, too. Oh, man. Masterclass
gotta
walk
buy.
up from Fair. After you saw that one glimmer of
Ominal,
activity from
one off
Shopify,
retroll.
immediately it's going to be either
We need
that
2 in a row right
static
now.
sentinel that's already set up all the util, or that static duelist that is the immovable object. Insane run from this ISO to give Blueotter a quick step ladder to 12. BCJ's on the Odin, baby.
Why not? Just send it. Send it full on out if you're Shopify Rebellion. And Blueotter are gonna be like, no way. Well, yeah, way. BCJ for Odin, why not? Come to know it. Some of us have come to love it. But again, it's just look at the difference in the map again, how the defense is playing. Like Blueotter just continue to take away space for free. And it's just forcing Shopify Rebellion to have to play off of like one angle. And they're not hitting it the way that you would expect them to with the Tejo breach.
Still trying to pour a lot of elbow grease into this B side, really pressure Fair out of using a bit more. But the double tap hasn't even been propped. So, I mean, Fair has every reason to just step back out into this as the rest of Shopify try to make some headway elsewhere. They don't. And now Fair's back up in the courtyard. Steps are heard. Guns aren't out. Fair will get 2 free kills.
What are we
I'm
doing?
gonna lose
Like,
it, man.
What are we doing?
I'm
for
gonna lose it,
Shopify?
bro.
It's just there's too much space on the map being given away for free. And that's
Jake thought he did way
that's
more
just
damage than he
kinda
did
how
because
this
the
map is
shield.
gone.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. This has been
Everyone's
a
getting caught
very
off by the
frustrating
comp,
watch.
taking
If you're a
times.
Shopify
It's-
Rebellion
Yeah,
fan.
Yeah,
It's
we
just-
just keep getting caught off by this guy like taking timings, like just like rushing. I wish we would up the pace. I actually do kind of agree with Shift at this point in the game that we need to up the pace because we're just sitting around and we're getting timed like left and right on like mid creeps, A creeps, fucking C creeps. There's too much shit to like hold in the mid round if our cam's not like actively holding mid. It's just
Drive this ISO that's all by
so
himself.
frustrating.
And trying to control the doors with Spaz's smokes. Paint walks forward 2 more steps, and then they go back to playing neutral. There has just been
Defaulting against
such a
this
lack
comp
of
too, like
decision
only
making
does
when
so much because
Blueotter
they don't really like
has
rotate
taken those
like
windows
a
of
normal
opportunity and
comp
opened them up
would on this
massively.
map.
Now it's Bob
Like they don't think
that's
about
gonna be
rotating
walking
through
up,
spawn, they
making
think
a
about shit like
mile
this, like
out of
pushing
this
down
up to
and
the
taking
steps as
space.
Paint will get that first frag. There, refrag on the
It's a
kill
huge kill.
contract, and Bob crept up. There's the kill.
It's just too much
Oh my
map given away. Too much map given away again. And that's just another one of those moments
Tried to
like
do it on a cent,
for
fuck it.
Shopify, you have the overdrive out, so you play aggressively into A and
And
you
you guys
get in
look
there,
better on
but
that map this stage.
we're not in positions to stop the walkdowns at mid. I just maybe there's something that I'm missing here, but this just feels a little too easy right now for Blueotter, especially in a map pick that coming out of Shopify Rebellion.
Gotta be aware of like timings because these guys are gonna keep, especially the fair guys, just gonna keep doing the same shit
Paint's
on
stuck.
every map.
One enemy remaining.
Nowhere to
Like
go.
instant timing.
That's gonna do it.
Down A.
Unless Pancakes can 1v4 with just the Guardian at the moment. Teleport across. Pop flashes through. We're gonna double swing this. Yeah, sure feels like it. Pancakes gets the first though.
30 seconds
Here
left.
comes help down long. Pancakes gets to read.
Come on.
Surely not like this. Oh, 1v4
Jake
for
is insane,
Pancakes.
bro. That was a huge
And somehow,
clutch.
some way.
We're
that's
round
by
how
round, brick by
Shopify
brick. Can we
Rebellion
do
won
this
on
There's
shit?
never been more back.
Holy fuck. What a fucking
Limitless
clutch.
aura from that guy. Just never stops.
God
That's
damn.
my man, Pancakes, man.
What a goat for winning
On
that
the
shit.
Guardian, no less.
I literally already
Bluewater taking every
fucking
precaution
accepted
for
that we're
final
going map
fight
3.
After everything else was so decided. After
Yeah.
Bob got to walk up for free.
God.
After Zostil got to walk up for
And now
free
you have
after
breach
that. It looked like a wash.
That was fucking crazy, dude.
Shit.
But one
Jake has had
pancake
2
stands between
ridiculous
Blueotter and
rounds
victory.
so far.
And we'll have to do it at least one more time here on the defense.
Fast long take.
This is better. Okay, how about some A-long pressure? We've got spy cams and stuff over towards mid to stop any walk down through grass. Rolling Thunder opens up the site. Dimensional Drift is at the ready for Blueotter. Spam shot from Bob, not gonna hit.
Shit,
Do you
roll
pop
this.
the ult here? Yes, you do.
Gotta take fights as soon as he
find one in hell.
ults. Start swinging
Follow up,
spawns.
looking to
People
come
start
back on
fighting.
in.
Start
The Owl's good
fighting.
right there. Contingency wall also in play. Paint can't get back to safety.
Three,
Spaz
five,
still known in the
there's a guy
back
on
line,
a
but Dizzle to
drone.
find one before Fireball gets the trade. 3v4 on the site.
Oh, no.
Pancake still holding. Salvo out late. Nice shots from Pancakes, but completely flanked out as Zoe was able to find him from the side. There's the fault line. No more utility for BCJ after this salvo. Fireball still on. Gets it to halfway. Trying to stick for it. BCJ gets 2, but Fireball gets the defuse.
God, what a tilting map. What a tilting map.
Mercy.
Oh.
It's all
Did everyone just get
about
off-site
the
there after they took
margins.
it?
And Blueotter continues to play in between them. Shopify Rebellion's moments of weak.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we just used a lot of util to take the site. We overused util. Like, we fucking breach ulted the site. I don't think Paint should have stunned Spawn. When I saw him stun Spawn, I knew we might be fucked on the flood.
Yeah, use Teo missiles as well.
Yeah, it was like, bro, we can't be using all this on the take. Like, the take needs to be a little lighter. Either that or you save the breach ult and you do like a full exec on site. But yeah, god damn it, man. Oh, yeah, we just overused util big time. I don't know.
And somebody, like, I saw Teo makes sense to get out of sight, but Breach was also out of sight, which when they have your ult, you just have to fight the, like, people trying to scale out with the ult. Because that guy's not going to be able to fight everyone. And if you just give them all the space, then they save their util.
Chat. I need the positive energy. We need it. I don't want to fucking lose. Fair played so well that map. Like, beyond the stats, just the fucking impact is ridiculous. Like, actually ridiculous. Caught so many insane timings. That's crazy. What a tilter. Oh, yeah.
Decompressing away. I've put all those 3 things in one. It'd be a great day.
Game's over.
Perfect day would just be when nothing really happens. You just chill at home, read a book, go on your phone, have dinner ready. That kind of just a very ordinary kind of day. Nothing too special.
I'd say hopefully not too much responsibility, but enjoying my time
map 3.
with my friends, family, and
gotta get this shit.
being able to relax, kind of reset, get to do the things I love. Whether that's like playing Valorant with my teammates or just fully relaxing outside, no contact or something. Yeah, and then just spending time with loved ones.
Perfect day for me would be waking up with my dog next to me, looking at me like
Dog, the good boy.
So, would wake up, walk my dog, go right to practice. A little bit of exercise before, and then go walk with Charlie. Come back, play some practice, win all of them because we're a bunch of streamers, and then go to the gym, stream, and go to sleep. Perfect day.
For me, it's like just sleeping in, like a nice little Saturday or Sunday, just sleep in, wake up and just, I like 1 or 2, go get some food with the fam and just like kind of just chill. I'm a very chill guy. I love to chill with my family and, just love to be on Discord with my friends. So kind of just like a super smooth sailing day would be a perfect day for me.
Oh, by the way, if you guys care or want to watch, I was on Plat Chat today. So, I was only on for the America segment. Wow, so loud. So, it was a pretty fun segment we did with me, Immy, Sliggy, and Sideshow. So, yeah, pretty dope. We had a good time. It's hella funny. Damn.
to give up, and they didn't really have that drive.
The expectation should be to win first place.
Get them to ascend.
We kind of just threw at the end.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, MAD were winning 5 versus 3.
Look how quick this one.
Oh! Welcome back, everyone, or welcome for the first time to Valorant Challengers League North America. I'm your host, Elizabeth, joined by Gompers and Ash. And folks, we're going to map 3. We thought maybe SRB could do a nice clean to, we were going to their map pick of Haven, but unfortunately, Gompers, Blueotter had either something up their sleeve, it was the read, but Blueotter took SRB's map pick.
It was, it was a little messy. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot going on that felt almost not really cohesive, as we got to see on Pearl. The cohesiveness was
gotta
lacking
walk
a bit,
around,
but I do think
get the
most
tilt
definitely
out,
that on the side
come
of
back,
Blueotter, we did get
own.
to see a little
That's
more
the play,
come through
okay?
from this double duelist composition. I really enjoyed seeing Bob kind of like get a bit out of the comfort zone of playing, you know, the initiator for the team, and you know, being able to actually push forward and maybe, you know, assist with being the top fragger. So for me personally, this was more so a win in terms of mental for Blueotters to be able to say, you know what, we kind of pushed for this double duelist composition and it worked. Not only that, but like we felt more confident than we did before. We were able to isolate our fights
10
better,
minutes to pred.
and more so they knew they had the skill. So
10 minutes
those
to pred.
1v1s coming through in action,
BRB
it
chat.
felt better. It felt more confident in terms of what Blueotters was willing to give.
I think confidence is like the biggest marker between these two teams for how we saw Haven being played. I think that it's a great shout when it comes down to, you know, that conversation that we've had about Fair, how good he's looking on the ice, and being able to be very enabled to take those risks. But I want to go back and look at how SRB handled this map. This is a Shopify Rebellion that was praised for their fundamentals on stage 1, but then looking at them today on Haven, it did not feel like the SRB that we've known previously. And I don't really understand why they were playing with so much respect on the defense in particular. It felt like we had Paint on a lot of angles where he's playing by himself. There weren't like those trap plays that you normally expect happening from Monty and BTJ, or even just like having that backup from Monty to be able to flash Paint out if he needs to, you know, get away, or even someone playing close enough when Paint is on that operator to try and take down that ISO shield. Like there were moments where we saw Paint playing some off angles that worked well with how Fair was contacting up, but it felt like Blueotter was being given a lot of space on the attacking side. You can, you know, see that even in the numbers, like being able to get that plant down all like 12 times on the attacking side and win out 8 of those post plants is massive for this team up against an SRB that were honestly giving them the whole map to run around on.
Something I want to highlight is, of course, Pancakes on the side of SRB. We saw that insane clutch. This is a player that we've been highlighting. And, you know, top fragging on the Cypher, 3 first kills, Gompers. That's from SRB, the side of SRB, that's not what you want to see. You don't want to see your Paint 10-16 on the bottom. Even if you're starting on defense, that's not what you want to see.
No, it's not only that, you know, like for 3 first bloods for Pancakes, I did notice kind of like a very, very big mention of Pancakes just like kind of going in first sometimes, which I felt like, you know, as the Cypher player, I mean, typically like on attack, you really don't have anything else other to do rather than watch flank and maybe just expose yourself forward for more information. But I feel like in terms of the way this game was played, you know, I was expecting a little bit more from Paint on the Neon, especially like you got 2 initiators that are able to set you up for success here. And it really didn't feel like we had that. A lot of the time it was, you know, Paint, go kill. And like, you know, lack of information on site. And oh my gosh, we have 2 blinds and nobody's using it. Like it really was also like, yes, blinds were used and util was exposed. But again, it was just kind of an unfair advantage in terms of Blueotters just working the map to the best of their ability and using their util very diligently. I definitely think they fixed their mistakes that we saw on Pearl as to where, you know, they didn't really know when to use their util or where to put it. But it felt like here it was a lot more careful and well calculated versus Shopify, which I wasn't expecting that, to be completely honest with you. Monsi is insane on the breach, and we didn't really even get to see any of that skill level that we saw in stage 1, right? So and you know, in the start of stage 2. So I definitely do feel like there's a bit you know, again, confidence, big thing, confidence lacking within this team in this map for sure.
And someone I want to highlight right away is Gompers. You went, as soon as we saw them pick the ISO, but fair on the ISO, you said, I think it was you, or maybe it was you or Ash, who said that, they'll do it themselves. We were highlighting kind of the initiator duelist combo that is tried and true. We all know it's basic Valorant, but kind of ISOs that more self-serving duelist, Ash. And I mean, a 310 ACS, 1.6 KD, Fair found his fights and just went for it.
Yeah, he definitely did. I think you could see just the confidence and more, it felt like, in some moments, and how he was taking some of those fights, and it panned out really well, like very much so catching SRB off guard. I think the ISO is also very key with a lot of opportunities that Blueotter were taking to just, like, honestly walk into some of those sites. Like, you'd see Fair walking in through mid into B because, the trip is set up elsewhere and they're playing a little bit further back on site. It felt like a lot of these more like retakey setups from SRB and Blueotter, once they got a whiff of that, they were very happy to abuse that contact style of play. And a lot of that came down to Fair taking those initial engagements to open up those rounds. And it's not even just like a confidence thing, I don't think, for SRB. I really think it came down to just like not playing that dynamic ebb and flow of Haven the way you would expect to, with that push and pull, having that duo of Peyton Monsey, and Fair and Blueotter took full advantage.
What I did like too is, like, with Fair in Pearl, there wasn't a lot of aggression. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely felt like we were lacking in that, but it felt like here it was always Fair to be fighting a 1v2, but winning it by themselves. And I think again, it's like the agent you play and the comfort you're feeling really does play a significant role in the game you're playing. And I think being able to understand, hey,
let's go. Let's get this map 3.
The shield that they got from ISO. After every pick I get, I can be a little selfish
you
here.
guys are in the cringe comp though, so I feel like that's very hard to play against.
Back up in the leaderboard and try to eliminate everybody on the site. And I think they were kind of playing off that to a T as to where they were playing ISO,
on the map,
way that ISO
so
was
hard to get
played,
like
and I thought
reps
that
against
really
that.
did help the potential of the team a lot more.
In the scrims.
Yeah, if you needed an ISO masterclass, Fair just gave it to you for free here on Valorant Challengers League North America. But we have one more map in this do or die elimination match. One map more to bring it all down. Who is going to be eliminated? Who is going to keep on going? We all on the desk said Shopify Rebellion Black. Much to Sean Garris's dismay, I would say. Ash Blueotter coming in with that confidence, stealing Shopify Rebellion's Black's map pick. That's looking good for Ascent, no?
It is looking pretty good for Ascent. I think it'll be interesting to see how this ends up working out. As we're heading into Ascent, the expectation from Blueotter is that they have that ability to run.
Yeah, if we lose, we can't make playoffs. That's why I like stressing out.
In this situation where they look to play the Deadlock and Cypher.
I mean, we won't get relegated or anything, but we wouldn't make playoffs for Split 2, which is fucking tragic considering we have so many points from winning Split 1. It's like, man, it's like really shooting ourselves in the foot.
Having that refract and being able to like recall out is going to be huge in breaking a couple of those like setups that they do have on defense.
I know they've been playing really well, and I also know that they struggle against that Haven comp, so I don't know. Obviously, I think that on Haven, normally they probably... I could see what they're going for, and against a normal comp, that would probably own. But against that comp that plays such high variance and, like, aggressive, they're running double duelist. It's just like we played too passive in certain key areas, yeah.
I'm watching it. Like, I'm like, all right, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So I guess for expectation-wise, I mean, I'm hoping they kind of...
Let's go, Egg.
I don't know.
My goat.
I think Bob Sova, despite the fact that I do see a lot of potential with Bob on the duelist, I really do like Bob taking more of that initiator role. I think they shine a little bit more, and they're a little bit more cohesive, especially with the Sova, but it seems like not. I mean, actually,
what the fuck? They're running double duelist?
I like it. I like it. Double duelist back. They know that they're getting comfortable, and they're starting to understand.
Have teams played this a lot when you played... When you were playing?
I've not seen anyone run this comp.
Interesting.
It's very hard for me to imagine Ascent as not a double initiator map.
With Yoru.
Yeah, I think that the ability to
I
have
guess
those
on
like quick
defense it
TPs
could be
here as well on
pretty
Ascent will be really
annoying
nice
because
as far as like those rotations
it's like
goes. Since
pushing one of
Blueotter
these
is
duelists
starting
out
out on
of
that
like the
defense
mains
first,
or
and
mid.
that ability to also
Like
have
now you
both
have
these
to deal with
players,
two
you know,
of
fight
them
up as
in those like
well with
weird
that get out
areas.
of
Like
jail
Yoru
free
can just
card
TP
too,
out.
especially to contest a lot of the space that we're expecting Paint to be trying to take on like the extremities.
And
or
it's pretty much just gonna
mid
come down to
on
like
this waylay.
I'm taking
So
50-50 fights
interesting
in those
changes
areas.
for sure. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see
They
how
did
this
a
goes.
big
I feel
comp
like
switch up,
Blueotter-
dude. They were running Cypher Deadlock before.
It's like polar opposite.
Yeah. And Bob was the Sova, Zeke was the Deadlock. I guess maybe because Bob's playing Duelist for FlyQuest, they did stuff like this, maybe?
Make it easier, yeah.
I feel like I'm such collateral every time.
At least you don't
he,
have to deal with
shaves you
Teo.
whenever
Sorry, my
we
guy.
come into this, man.
It's just
We just
the
have to be
Italian
aware of,
sass
like,
gets really
their
thick when
aggression.
you've got Donna Frio and I'm cheating on broadcast together. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, Blueotter is cooking up a little bit here. Again, kind of the same thing that we had seen from Haven.
No
Not
more
playing
dying
their
to
standard
random
composition
timings.
that we had seen them kind of trust
No Moss,
throughout pretty
please,
much
please,
the
please.
entirety of the calendar year. Pulling in something a little bit new, which again, I think just goes to show that this double duelist, they think they've got something here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that Bob was already cooking on the Yoru before, and you know, putting that trust in her as the duelist has tended to work out in every split of challengers in GC that Bob has ever played. So I really love where Blueotter is trying to stick
bouncing
it to
on each
Shopify
other.
Rebellion
Hey,
Black after
yo.
they were able to just ego them last match.
We're bouncing on each other. Hey, yo.
Paint has been feeling a little more comfortable on Waylay. He's been trying to workshop it on a couple maps, and this return to
should
Ascent
be
for
up
Shopify
still.
Rebellion has been
Yeah,
the
it's
best
already
stomping
there.
ground from thus far on it. So I'm expecting to see him make some really big and pivotal plays for this SRB team so far. That is what has gotten them these wins at the end of the day. When all else fails,
Sean, my
when
CS
all else
cases
fails
are
to
through the
diff,
roof. It might be time to buy a Steam
mean,
Deck.
really after that last map, everything is in the air for Shopify Rebellion right now, man.
Wow. It would be stunning to put it plainly as, wow, contact forbid.
Doubles as
Goes
the
with
sheriff.
Tally, but Fair gets 2. You don't expect
Yeah, they
that.
see the
But
point
just a
of view.
defensive peak with the sheriff. And now
Yeah,
Bob
the
will
serving's
pick up the
been
baton and
insane.
stay here. And again, everything's being watched. You got a one-way
We've
smoke
like
on
missed
A.
so much shit.
Keeping Zoe nice and safe. Zeke just playing for contact with a shock dart if he wants to. Help on the way. Tate. Dash at the ready. But again, you've got tripwires in the way here. You can't just move on through it, but they
sorry.
still find Zeke before you can return into sight.
Fuck.
Bob, though, off the pinch, has them stuck, and Shopify again continue just to
Damn.
put their food a little bit, trying to bounce out of the sight.
There's
but
no way that we're doing this
again,
shit
they run right to
again.
the winning arms
Driving-
of Bob, and
drive
there's
me
nowhere
fucking
for
insane,
Shopify to go.
man.
Seeing this uber aggression continuously from these two duelists.
Like, don't we realize these guys are
Seeing
screaming
some
the fuck
pages
out of
taken
us
out of
right now?
enemies
Like, they're
for-
just taking so many fights.
Of course, their own sort of silent style on it. Still, a 1v1 that Spaz can recover.
think he
35
got dead
HP on the
cammed.
plate. Zostol.
I love this.
Big peek on the
Yeah,
courtyard
seems
here.
like
Spaz does not have any util. It'll be a raw peek. That's
He got
easily
dead
wins.
cammed for
Blueotter.
sure.
That is another pistol in the pocket for them.
And look,
I think honestly,
it's
a lot of
early
these rounds,
in this map 3,
they should
obviously,
just
it's about as early as it
bash
gets.
their heads into one
But-
wall, like one
Yeah,
site.
I just don't want to see
and just
Shopify Rebellion
siege the site
hit-
until
have
they
these,
figure
like,
it
here we
out,
are, and
rather
Exactly.
than
Exactly.
trying to
Off,
deal with
like,
all the
they're
random
just
ass
giving
like
away
timings
so
and
much
spots
of the
people are
map.
gonna get into.
And
Yeah,
in this
we're like
moment,
we're
it's coming to
treating
punishment
this
because
team
for the
like
side-
they're fucking G2 right now, and they're not. They're just not. Like, they're not as structured. They're taking like very high risks. We're trying to play this like flawless game right now.
found those same angles. I mean, you're seeing it again.
Yeah,
A-main's
they're
already
not gonna
gone.
rotate like
You're
a
trusting
normal
your
team
setup
would.
on site
They're
for
just gonna,
B.
like, pick
You've got
timing,
Fair in the
push,
mix over the
play.
top of market. No one's looking at that. Reveal is good. It's just this Shopify approach has been very easily read, in no matter what the map has been to this point.
It really is a great attacking composition, though, with this Waylay. And with the pistol round, we did see sparks of it. As Fair, gonna go ahead and farm these knives up. Might as well. But, you know, you saw that group turnaround after Paint doubled back. A lot of these attacking rounds, especially on this B side, are going to be hell-bent on how far
said
Paint
reinvest
gets, how much
2
headway he's
armor.
able to make. And depending on whether or not they feel comfortable about pushing onto that site, Paint can either let that double back proc or time out and just push forward on that site, or you can have that dynamicism as a group to be able to get back to
Fireball's
the other side
played
a little
really
bit faster,
well.
or at least
Like
press mid.
Fireball's low-key been really good this
As far
series
as
so far.
I can tell, for that first round, they expected.
I think
Five
I've
to be
complimented
behind them.
Fireball
They
a
just
lot over the
expected
last
her to
few
still be
years.
like in the courtyard, not
Yeah,
right
sure.
I think
in
Fireball's
front
a
of
really
them.
good player.
So I think that Shopify is approaching this with the right ideas. The framework of it just again a little too slow. Now that the guns will shine through, though, they have a much better chance of letting this playbook play out.
But again, you've got Fair who walk up into B main, work deleted the trap. Now you see information. They want more. Weapon swap as Zeke will collect the rifle. But the one-way on A goes unchallenged
This is a
by
bit better.
SRB. And even though you've gotten elimination at B main, you still don't know if anyone's tucked into a corner. And it's just, we just need to see them
Gotta make sure to keep it
execute
simple
with
in the
some
late
sort of
round.
methodical principle
Gotta
about
make
what
sure
they
this
want to do to break
judge
down
doesn't
these
fucking shit
potential
on us
setups.
if we go do like a late round cat clear.
Yeah, just having to chip away piece by
Like
piece.
the call if there's kind of B split here.
How they managed to approach Pearl so well. Isolating these members all too often on the Ascent defense. You're capable of doing that with the util that you have to offer. BCJ can do a lot of flushing. Salvo's already expended, and we're on the B site here as Fireball Ops has been backed away and will get shot down.
Oh, they know that he was there. Knife revealed it, but the decoy still allows Zoe to find one. 2v4 situation though on this post plant. And Zeke and Zoe are just hoping they can connect through some wallbang spam.
Gotta keep a lot of guns up
Chip
here.
damage at best at this point. You also don't know what's at B main, so you gotta be cautious of that. But Zeke will give this the initial try. If you find one, maybe there's an opening.
One enemy remaining.
No,
Nice,
not going to
good
happen.
job.
BCJ finds a kill, and Zoe will get out of here. Or maybe just play for exits, I guess. And then try to get out of there. Wow,
Well.
that works. Okay, makes it punishing.
Okay. They have Blade Storm.
It's always something with this Blueotter team.
2 guns is gonna be
But
kind of rough
I
as
mean,
well.
Again, a very perfectly played bonus round from Shopify Rebellion. In my eyes, the hesitation to wait for Zeke to peek out, get your early first,
This guy
barrel
could
it back
play
down that
outlaw
weaker
if he
B side
wanted
after you've
to.
done all the other initial checking through mid, as brave as it was. Able to maintain the fight until Zoe cuts a couple guns short of you, and now you might be panicking with the light shields a teensy bit, but you got a lot of time to play with here in round 4. Good few options
Okay,
to
spot the
sort of
Yoru.
poke and prod at, see if you can
Spot
get
the
away with an
Jet.
opening kill, especially if these duelists get antsy.
Yeah.
You know where the jet is.
Well, just you're getting what Shopify Rebellion are going to do off the get-go here. You've got Trapwire at the backside of B main, so this is going to be an A hit. There's the dashes in for the waylay. So, just responsible for reading that. Bob in the corner before the door shuts, trying for some spam. Not going to connect fully, but does tag up Bonzi quite a bit.
They're
Spike will
blind
be
for this
planted.
retake.
Flank on the way. Fair. Oh, I love this. I mean, it just comes down to the timing on that because BCJ has no reason to push up too far forward. Does Fair check for it? Oh, wow. Gets the reset. That's a rifle now collected as well with that. Spaz not going to be
So where?
bamboozled by the decoy. Knife to reveal. Fireball gets punished. Now here comes the collapse. Zeke up top. Some good damage coming through, but the kills are good for SRB.
Round 2.
It's just really down to what Fair and Zoe can do from the outside of the
double
site, but
space
no.
on site.
Suppress comes through the
Nice.
command, and that's enough for Shopify Rebellion to
Let's
have
fucking
the
go,
edge in the
man.
gunfights in that 3v2, and Shopify Rebellion get their second.
Getting kind of worried when
Oh
they're
my
all
God,
huddled up on
chat.
top of
Shopify
each other
Rebellion
at
Black,
gen.
once they've made their choice on a site, it is a pump and dump, a knife, a dash,
A pump and dump.
a plant, and setting up for the team fight.
I am
Shopify
stressing right now,
have
bro.
to
I'm
be
fucking stressing. I need mics.
Perfect
They must
on
have had
those
really
swing
good
backs.
agent names the last round to say that the
And
tail
again,
wasn't there.
despite
For this guy
BCJ
to be
getting killed
aware.
there, so far so good.
Yeah, right? I guess he
Everybody's
saw
still
the
doing
could have
their
seen the
homework,
missiles
preparing for
cross.
every possible
maybe?
contingency.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Just
I
comes down
also
to
thought it was like,
execution.
yeah, maybe you could have heard him spawn. I don't know. Wasn't really listening.
But again, it's okay.
There you
About
go.
to say, if you get away with this, if you're Fair, it just is going to play mind games with Shopify Rebellion. The
I'm
rest of
punching
this
a
half.
hole in my monitor if he gets away with
Connection is
that.
through.
On that
Fireball
run.
breaks the trap wire, but
I like that they've
just shows a little bit of
transitioned
force.
to just like
Bob's sitting inside,
sitting
fucking
and waiting
that
for the
dark cover
play to
mid for
come
now,
and then
but
just
will not be able
regrouping
to
and
stay
keeping
here.
it like super
Yeah, we'll gate
simple
crash back
because you
over
know
B.
this comp can't really like stop your exec either.
Stealth drone will
Bro,
force out
just
the
like
TP
Taylor
for
Swift,
Bob.
Mike, I'm feeling 22 right
Continuing
now.
to chip away.
You're in this Discord. You're calming me down. I'm anxious as
Full intel,
fuck. I need your calming energy
Hell,
out
good
here.
coverage.
Like,
All good.
I'm
Shopify will
fucking.
take full advantage
Let's
of
go.
that crazy spray
Were you
into
super
Bob
calm
here.
at
Here are the
22?
steps.
No, in the 100 Thieves games, bro, I was losing my mind.
Oh.
Here's Paint.
I thought you meant
Good
like
help from
age,
Spaz.
not like year.
No, I meant the
Rating
fucking
great
year,
for
bro.
now. Fracked back, but Zoe still with a find 2, but stuck off
Let's
the reload.
go.
Cannot find anything more. So a couple of
my
repurchases there for
God,
Blueotter, but considering the purchase and the fact that they didn't really get their opening first blood they were looking for,
Just
Shop for
win.
Rebellion pretty comfortable to get 3.
Yeah, Blueotter having to just sort of wait for the fight.
Totally
to roll around.
unrelated
free
clip.
round on this
Same
map.
shit.
After the-
So like this is how you do it. If
People
you
are
want
starting
to
to
kill
figure out,
yourself, this is how you
spots
fucking do
to
it.
play.
Like
hard.
50.
How many more times
That's
till the
crazy.
second
That's
football
one clip.
bear?
That is insane. That's one clip.
Can't exactly
I knew when I said it. I was like, man, why did I word it that way?
Exactly, yeah.
And then you literally took out the the part where I say like in Minecraft or whatever.
Working these
You son of a
game
bitch.
lanes.
Whoever clipped that
So
is
Blueotter will have to
diabolical,
start
by
paying a
the
little
way.
more attention to that. So hold up early here, close to wine, and Knife is gonna catch him off. So Blue very split defense at the moment.
Oh.
Shopify though, no mid control just yet.
Third cover will fade. Here comes the approach.
No.
Paint already on
Bro.
site. But
Great cage.
Fireball has been hanging behind his
Dude!
cage and makes use of it for the first. Help now here from Bob. Wow. Armageddon's going to be called in, forcing out this defense to try to play on the low ground, and BCJ will collect a couple off the reload.
Oh my
Sloppy
God.
stop there. And initially what looked like Blueotter were maybe going to
Those
put
three
together
too.
a hole.
Oh my God, that was
Now
not a
it's
double
down to
swing.
Bob missing the first shot. And well, they're about to be completely flanked up. Yeah, teleport over, get the free plant at B.
Oh.
Don't fiddle with it. And it should be a 4th round for Shopify.
Spike planted.
Again, Shopify's game sense. Really the focal point of this
No,
game
I don't
for
have money
him.
on the game. I'm the
Fantastic the
GM
whole
of the
way through.
team. We concentrate for SR.
Prioritization
Oh, no, we've
after
never been
realizing
more back.
Fireball.
I'm so
Just
tied to
being able
this
to hide
result.
away in that cyber cage, which is absolutely beautiful, by the way. And that Armageddon contributed by PCJ at the perfect time to just double back down, make sure that sight is fully theirs. And instead of waiting for that second step, which Shopify have fully pledged themselves to playing, that team fight in the post plant, Blueotter tries to double down. They try to step into it and make that fight happen for the one time. Does not go their way. Bob will be holding on to an operator, but that is all Blueotter will be walking into round 7 with. Shopify already, this is looking a lot more disciplined, a lot more mentally reset, much better all around.
Sheesh. Okay.
Well, timeout called for Blueotter to talk about this just a touch. And I think the biggest thing is, you know, we're finally starting to see Shopify Rebellion
We're getting alt value, which is
throw out
good.
some utility to force this Blueotter team back a little bit more. They're not just walking up the map like we had seen on Haven. They're not walking up the map like we had seen at the very beginning of this one either. So seems like a perfect time, but
2 million doll hairs.
Because I think for Blueotter, this is just gonna be one of those things of like, okay, we're not getting away with the same.
I got hella
we
doll
had.
hairs upstairs.
Do we want to try to play something different off this trap? You know,
Right.
Maybe not
really
2
only
million.
had,
I don't know.
One-way smokes at A and a couple of double peeks over towards B main. Like, do you want to try something a little bit more aggressive? Or do we just completely back off and play purely reactive based on what they're
Looking
setting
better.
up to clear those
Bowlers,
angles? that
looking
they've
better.
largely given up for free. It's, again, it
But
feels
my
like you're
hands,
gonna
they can't
step
stop
it up a notch
sweating.
and play more
So
aggressive, or you're going to dial it back.
I think a lot of that aggression just has to rely a little more heavily on the duelist.
You're
You have to
getting
seesaw
banned.
yourself a little bit more like
I'm so sick of these
Continue to put
people,
Bob in
like
that
beating
situation.
this two, and they're like,
These
"Oh,
people.
you sound like
Crashes
Baby
away,
J. You
forces
sound
out
like
the
Inspired.
occasional
You sound like
piece of
anyone
util
else
or
with a
intel
deep
check on the
voice. Oh,
way
you have the
to,
Valorant accent. No, bro,
second
I've been
middle.
like this like
But
for
again, I mean,
20-something
Shopify,
years.
They're very expressive with how they're approaching. Once
Just
they've
so
chosen a site, it's
fucked.
pretty clear. So Blueotter, they can't exactly fight for util any sooner. Unless they do
Is that
some stupid
Wyatt?
BS like this.
Yeah.
Bob, come on.
No, people don't say Wyatt because
What are you-
Wyatt like has like inflection.
Catches
He
a
doesn't
leg.
talk monotone. He just
I mean,
has like a
it's
really
been
deep
free,
voice.
So why not give it a try, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
But that kind of gives us, again, kind of, you know, especially now,
Power
and
action
sure, that
for
opening
sure.
peak is kind of whatever
That was
it
pretty
is,
smart by
but
Z to reload close.
seeing
Given
what
how they've
the
been
defense is
playing,
is
like,
giving us the
we're
intention that
definitely
Blueotter
beating that guy's
are choosing
retweet.
to
100%.
dial it back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got, yeah, Zeke who can just kind of search for information depending on timing of the round. Recon Bolt will push everyone from Shopify Rebellion back. And then you get one like that. I mean, come on. That just feels
That was
unnecessarily
insane.
Easy.
They're
And
both
Blue
low
Otter
now.
will have numbers
Again,
advantage
just keep it
with still all
simple.
these
Let's
traps
just
in the way.
exec into the shit, even if there's 3 here.
Crossfire's there, too.
Fuck, two are so low.
They had
bro.
the setup to be able to trade that.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't. Now you're just completely blocked out. And I mean, this is the point in which Blue Otter cement around.
30
Like,
seconds
the
left.
game plan for Shopify has been completely stalled. Ground to a halt. And there's 20 seconds on the, yeah, you're going to save.
Yeah, you're done. You're saving. You're saving. You're done.
Damn.
I don't know, man. It just, like, even in that round right there, you know, you kind of get away from that opening
Some of
first
these
blood attempt
shots,
by
your team
Bob,
is just
but
cursed against this
10
match.
seconds.
yeah, you've got a Zeke solo peek off a
That was a
recon
ridiculous
dart,
shot.
which is just an impressive
Fuck
shot.
the
But
fuck
then
out of Jake.
Paint is charging up the dash, it looked like, but the flash over the top from Monzi doesn't hit in time. And to be fair, Paint was by themselves.
What'd
Like,
you
there
say,
wasn't like a
Mike?
recover back over towards defensive spawn. There
Nasua
wasn't
flicked the fuck
a
out of
fragment
Jake.
into the
and
corner.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing. Like, that just feels like
Hardcore.
they're trying to get one piece of utility with the duelist entry, and it just doesn't
Just get
feel like enough.
Sliggy up. He can just start cursing the other team.
And yet Bob single-handedly creating all of that intel for Blue Otter that forces Shopify to slow
Sliggy's
down that
actually
much
unriveled
more, you
with
know?
the
Juices.
coaching
So much more
curse.
bang for
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He's pretty gnarly with
defensive
it.
intel on this map, especially if it's with a body instead
Okay.
of a piece of utility. I mean, the fact that Bob's able to get out of that, hold on to her operator, just force a complete shutout that round. That is a 180 to give Blue Otter a chance at salvage in this half.
Well, this will be a first look at Shopify Rebellion trying to play into tree. There's the flash. Zoe counters the paranoia. Good fragment combination. But Zoe still gets out of there.
Dude,
Finds
how do we not
first
get
blood.
that?
That's where it becomes a bit unexcusable again. Fair gets caught
need to
trying
get
for a
that.
secondary peek through the staircase, though. And you've got to walk
Yeah,
down from
Jake's taking
Pancakes, who
timing up
has, I believe,
mid.
heard Zeke on that little
I don't have
pitter
any
patter
B
back
main
over spawn.
info though.
Purely
Dude, this yours coming at all.
expedite this, Bob. Ulti's gone. No TP free.
30 seconds left.
Yeah.
You gotta pick this dry. This is looking a little
Got out
too
on B.
fragmented to make this work.
I mean, yeah, Pancakes
Pancakes.
just has to hold here. I mean,
Causing a
you
huge
just don't peek.
distraction here.
You've got a numbers advantage on site.
Nice.
In that one, yeah, you just don't peek.
Fucking go, dude.
That works out for Shopify Rebellion. Initially,
the
it felt like it
BCG
may have been a
stun them?
flop
They
just
have
due
the
to the
stun
fact that
icon.
the
Big round.
utility usage from Monzi was perfect. Flash gets value.
These
the
are
fragment
indeed the
gets value.
sultry
Toast still
pins.
gets out, finds the first blood, but Shopify Rebellion quick to transition back through mid, gets the isolation.
Holy.
And I think most importantly, it's just the timing of Bob on the dimensional drift just felt a little bit like it was, you know,
Picked up
almost
the
a gut check
hop,
call
too.
because Fair drops that tree. You're just trying to get the read on if the hit's still on or not, and you get caught like in no man's land.
Yeah. Feels like everything that's going on in this map right now for both sides is happening on a Broadway stage. It's being projected. Like everything is so just read by the other side. And rather than Blueotter being free-willed and being able to make their own choices, the moment that Shopify forces Blueotter to make a choice, they know that they've forced them to make that decision.
Yeah.
It's very much a psychological battle that'll carry through here,
that
and
was a
that
good
is
play.
certainly a way to try
God,
to drive
Fair's
the
been
nails
so
in deeper.
fucking annoying, man.
All right, this is
Been
again
so
the
aggro.
rounds for Shopify. You're dealing with a Blue Otter team that is weaker on
You have to
utility
make
and
a real
arsenal,
scrimmy play here.
and you're letting them get back on the round. They haven't even dropped a
Doesn't
member yet. I mean, it's just the aggression from Blue Otter has gone unchecked.
Wow,
They even catch
spam.
BCJ as the door is dropping. And now it's just on the Spaz inside of a deep dark cover. And
we have hella money.
wow.
Yeah. That's Blueotter sticking Shopify back in the blender this time around. A real trade of blows these past few rounds have been.
And 5's already pretty insane here.
How
I don't know, because it's double duelist. Like, honestly, like,
is Shopify,
we lose second at pistol, they could snowball the fuck out of us.
You really do just get that one
Yeah,
shot.
I would say the only thing though is like for the people on site, they're not really gonna have to worry about like raking or like dodging that much util.
Whether or not you get the hold
Like there's only really the dart and then like the Yoru flash and then the Omen flash.
Whether it's with that walking
Not
up
a whole
early
lot
on
of
here,
I think they're just gonna scrim the fuck out of us. Like, I think they're
frag
playing
as you're
so
backing
loose.
out,
Yeah.
as we've seen in these past couple
Like,
rounds.
they're playing very loose against us right now.
It is a monumental battle that will see
I think they're
Bluewater
like
have to
double
play too,
dive, like
just as
over
much.
trips and shit.
And I love this setup for Blueotter. You've got mid
I think as
control
long as
being
you
held
guys
by
don't
Bob,
play,
an operator can
if they
teleport back
play
to
for
A,
map
but
space
loses the
more and
gate
don't
crash
just
for a
sit on
moment.
sites the entire round,
Crossfire
it'll
set up
work
at the front
out a
doors at
lot
A. Here
better
comes
than
Hit over
last
towards
map.
Tree. There's the gate crash back. Paint will get some control over towards glass. We're still peeking through it, and Bob cannot get out. Follow up from Fair, though, is good. And he's still up zone. The top corner can teleport back into sight, but is seen and dealt with by Monzi. So back and forth trades. We've got a 3v3.
They're still
Takes some
inserted
time
on the
to
site,
collapse
though.
on
And as
this guy.
you hear the drop down, he gets the free
What?
turn back, and the spike
This
is
guy's
on an
crazy.
island. Has to get in further, though, to guarantee that Shopify can't trespass back again before the rest of Blue is on.
God, he has
But that just gives Pancakes a neural theft that guarantees that Bluewatter now have to initiate the fight as well. They'll hop on. Spaz peeks out. Fireball gets that kill. 1v2. Pancakes, he's done it before. Does he do it again?
Damn, nice
No!
shot by Fireball.
Fireball
Fuck.
swings out from the cubes and gives us a 5-5 game.
Sucked the Heaven guys got super separated there.
But again, everything is so
went back to pick up
telegraphed,
the
right? Is
bomb and
everything,
kept
everybody's
going.
like, got it, let's move on to the next thing. Everybody understands everything that is happening on this map. It's like there's no walls at all.
30 seconds left. One enemy
Yeah, just a couple of the key moments, a couple of the key gunfights keep going the way of Blueotter. So now 3 of the last 4 go their way. Money is still fine
let's get
for
7.
Shopify Rebellion for this round. You got knives out for Fair, no backup weapon for them as they're just gonna run it down. Reveal is there. Now you've got a reset and a second follow-up looking for more. And Fair is gonna take the round into their own hands. What are we looking at if you're Spaz? And how
Damn.
about all 5?
That was insane.
No, this guy's actually insane.
That was actually insane. Like, he literally knew like exactly where every player was even. Like, he didn't even clear spawn on the first cross. Like, and then went back. Like, that was fucking crazy.
Turning it up to 11.
Holy shit, that was
Barrel
insane.
rolling. From cat to cat. Spawn to spawn.
Okay,
And
let's get
unbelievable thwarting.
That was fucking
That'll
crazy
send
as shit,
Shopify right
bro.
back down to a desperate buy with a half-wit ult bank for this final round of their attack.
I just cannot believe what I'm seeing. How is this the
He
same
just wiped
team?
himself off. That was crazy.
Yeah. How is this the same team? Noel Command is out. Shopify Rebellion going to play with some much more dictative tempo here.
This guy's getting
Pancakes the
hit by
corner.
everything. Cam, trip.
Sees the barrel of a couple, but
I don't
still loses the
understand.
first blood.
That's
Unreal.
crazy that he
Now
even
you've got an
cleared
opportunity
that.
for the Armageddon to get called in. Trades
Like,
are back and forth.
he hit the
Spaz
trip and
trying
he
to hold
still
from
did it?
inside the site.
This guy's insane.
Thinking about the teleport to join the rest of his comrades. I don't know why we're not keeping someone at main, but that's the call. Everything's been used. BCJ's used everything. Here comes the retake attempt. It's going to have to just be gunfight wins. Spaz gets one, trades out for another.
Trades.
Just down to Bob. Sheriff and an operator to play with. And not going to get out of the dark cover. Shopify Rebellion able to
Fair
send us
might
to a
actually be
6-6
okay
half.
with that, like, a lot.
And you're able to wrestle control of an attack round once more, once all is said and done. What was dominant in the beginning was once again stunted at every turn by Blueotter. They continue to find new ways to slow down Shopify the one time they need to make that Ascent defensive half a dominant one. Which begs the question, is 6 rounds enough? Does Shopify's defense have enough in the tank to get
Ooh,
going?
this pistol.
Because Paint by all accounts, is
they bought
on his
double
own path,
sheriff
man.
on attack
He
pistol.
is a nomad for
B-main
what will be
knife.
so many of these pre-plants.
I just want Paint to go for some.
A lot of questions about what this Shopify Rebellion
on
defense is
Waylay.
going to give up here voluntarily.
Like,
Now,
bro,
like
just
I
like
said,
Nia
not
just
gonna be able to
jumps
get
out
away
mid.
with taking away space for
Guys
free
actually
as
has
much.
no
but
fear.
I just don't
this
get
is
it.
The point of entry that I would be really curious to
Like,
see how
nothing's
much
even
Blueotter
cleared.
can work through is how much can they do at mid market. Monzi holding a flash, double stack over, active
Oh my
mid
God,
market
that timing is
doors. But
crazy.
Monzi gets pulled back. Now you've got an angle here for Fair, but misses out on an opportunity for it. Follow up,
Okay, Thanos
timing
is
wise is
down.
good for Fireball, but no
Seriously.
connection. And it's Shopify with the numbers.
Oh, please don't throw
They see the
this.
chemistry coming through the walls again.
Portal closed.
Who isn't present here? It's Zoe. Could toss that paranoia back. And Shopify understands they still have overwhelming control.
Oh my God.
Trades are out. Numbers still very comfortable for Shopify Rebellion, but some space has been won over towards topside glass. Shoulder
enemy
seed.
remaining.
Doesn't connect under the headshot. Bob will drop.
30 seconds
And
left.
Zoe is stuck in hell with a classic. Does have the spike, so maybe a chance to extend this round a touch more. Decent health pool as well, considering that these last three members are all pretty injured. One more check just to see if anyone's at
10
tree.
seconds left.
And then we'll try for the commitment. This will likely be just be all three members driving on it if there's the fragment. And there will not be enough time for Zoe to do too much with this. So pistol goes the way of Shopify Rebellion. This comes down to can
Can't lie,
they use
it
that
does the
advantage because
scariest
they
thing ever
weren't
when
able
you're just
to
watching
in
that
map number
guy
2.
just run down mid at the start of the round, not worried about like a single thing.
Bro, nothing. I don't think they darted mid, right? They saved their dart.
This year.
If I remember correctly.
It
I don't
feels
think they used anything.
so base
Yeah,
level to say
dude.
that, but
It's just
I
crazy.
think a base level is what we're trying to make sure we've got.
I
at
feel
this
like
point.
he's so like in
A
tune
sudden
with
death
where
map
and when we're
for your
peaking
previous
shit.
champions
Even on like
after
Haven when he was taking those timings,
getting
like
manhandled
on the
with
eco when
Haven.
he just ran up long on defense and just like peeked in one shot or
Turned a
high
lot of
low.
fans'
Like,
worlds
bro, that
upside
shit's
down
crazy
today, Blueotter.
actually.
That's
Reminds
for
me of
damn
like
sure.
old school Baby Bay actually. I haven't seen that in so
Can they
long.
make this attack half as memorable as the rest of this match has been?
Oh, I'm so down.
Comes down to if you're able to
Always
catch one
on
on
turning
timing
out.
here, I think. Just with the rat
Yeah,
positions,
yeah.
you're able to hold down for SRB.
Whataburger, trash.
Well, this timing gonna be off the contact of this recon. You've also got the paranoia out. BCJ backs up. Gonna call for pancakes to rotate over, but only has a judge from mid-market. Still, well, when you throw 90% of the shells out of that first cartridge into the face, doesn't make a difference what you do.
How'd this guy get here?
And now Anzi will be tested at tree, fragment deep. Fair has already gotten a bit through. Monzi would not expect this challenge,
Dude.
and that's what happens. Spaz now in trouble. Paint trying to hold the push through, but this is going to be opening here for Blueotter.
30 seconds left.
Bro!
Toss up as Fair continues to trollops forward with now this bulldog in hand, and it's become such a more dangerous
Spike
round
planted.
already. There's the site control. Now it comes to the team fight.
Yep. Again, weapons are not great, but we'll see what they can muster. Initial looking decent. Yeah, Paint up top. That will
player
work.
standing.
Classic chipping away at
Dude.
Bob, who's down to
Why did
just a
BCJ not
single
swing
shot of
left
something worth
gen?
health. And it's going to have to check onto BCJ eventually.
Dude!
Or
You gotta be fucking joking
has
me
there
right
been a
now.
moment of timing here? Another toggle.
You
Bob's
gotta
going to
be
call the
joking me,
fake.
bro.
Now this has to be held to halfway. Bob will find the sound cues, but calls out the bluff again.
BCJ!
Unbelievable. BCJ's got no ice. And the headshots come through. Bob steals away the round for the
So
1v1
annoying.
clutch. What are we watching?
That was a rough way to play that.
That was so poorly played by us right there. Holy fuck. Like the whole round from us was just like
I mean,
fucking terrible. Like honestly, the way Monsi was spraying, he's spraying even though he he let someone get up close right, which means that he lacked info for a good portion of that. Like for that guy to have gotten there, it's crazy. Like it's not a timing on the smoke.
Steps, for that matter.
There's just a lot of gaps in the round that were already existing.
Once
So
again,
bad.
manages a fledgling
Paint
couple
on top
kills
of
to open
Attic
up
could
that
have
site.
dropped and fucking lived. BCJ could have swung left side gen and high load.
Oh, here we go. Flash out. Fair in trouble this time, but here's the response. Or is there? Salvo actually lands onto Zeke. I don't think he actually saw
good damage
where exactly that was being queued up for. So opening exchange has Shopify Rebellion with the numbers, but none of these weapons are
really
collectible.
get any of these guns later or not.
So at least you've held on to the stack. The heavy push does come up your way. Chat, we saw some proactivity from Shopify Rebellion Black.
And it worked! At least initially. Still have some work to do here. And that's why. Sheesh. Yeah, weapons just too strong, but I just like, why have we not seen any of that tempo switch from Shopify Rebellion?
I'm still stuck on that last round, man.
No, same.
How does, I mean, that was just
There's no ice from
that was the
BCJ.
stupidest standoff I've ever seen in my life. Bob's aura is unmatched.
Pancake's gonna get a nice little 1v1, maybe. Flash over the top. Bob's just playing with food, and the outlaw shot hits. Wow.
Not a bad eco though.
Wow.
Because we have the 1 off
8-7,
50.
Blue Otter. Now they're gonna be sitting at a pretty comfortable tally, and they've got ults nearby, if not possibly.
Bunch of ults coming
this
up
next
too.
round.
Able to flip this pistol, follow up, and take the bonus along with it. We've
That's a
already
pretty good
found the
push.
collapse
Can't get
that we are
timings
looking
anymore.
for as Blueotter fans. Still, tough road ahead of you here on Ascent Attack if Shopify have so many windows where they can find activity as well, where they can push at the cracks. Mid has not been all too pressed just yet.
Going into a
Seems that
fast
Shopify
B
are really
split.
respecting that double duelist that they have. They understand how much space Bob can make immediately here down mid, and Blueotter's gonna flex that this time around.
Bro, the Jet walked up B main while suppressed? What? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I actually don't get that.
Again comes through.
How does this guy know that there's no one
BCJ
spawned
got
him?
Utility out. Salvo being danced with. Fireball's able to get away, and in that moment, Bob does connect. Flash out. Monzi,
thank you.
pardon me. That might be a spark
Huge
that
two
Shopify
right
Rebellion
there.
need to stay in this game, because that is a lucky spray down for 2, and now numbers are here with Shopify's defense.
Spike planted.
Stepping up again, Fireball ahead of mid, and he's gonna get 2! Turns into a 1v1, and Paint's position's already compromised. Has to slow walk Zeke. The turn.
Fuck yes.
Paint
Fuck
clutches
yeah.
it.
Thank God.
It is
Yeah, this guy has no
scrapes
fear
and
at all.
scrapes.
I wonder if it's just
for
because
both these
since Cam
sides.
got broken, he
Shopify
wasn't
coming away
worried
with
because
the
he knows
defuse
people are
this
just
time
gonna be like
around
playing a
after
little bit
another
more scared
brawl
without
in the
Cam.
backside. We are
Still
truly
insane.
devolving as we go on here.
Yeah,
Shift,
bro.
it
It
feels
just
like.
walked up B
Correct.
main, no, like, not, didn't clear like half the angst. Like, I don't get it. Like, I actually don't get it. Like, honestly, it's insane. He's playing fucking incredible. He's literally reading the game so well. But I truly have never seen anything like
For
it.
the Waylay, and a number of other ultimates that could be round winning, even though there will be a limited purchase here for Blue Otter, including the Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury combination. Whereas for Shopify Rebellion, it is the Convergent Paths as well as the Null Command and
Buy
the
still
Armageddon.
pretty scary this round.
Nearly
No, I
full
would never
purchase,
accuse
but
someone of
really both
cheating.
teams are on even
Ults
footing
too.
here
I would
in
never
terms of
accuse
weapon
someone of
purchase.
cheating.
Yeah, we
Especially after
finally-
like one game, I would never
We've
do that.
taken a long
on
road
Coach
to
stream.
getting both
That's
these
so
teams
like.
to fully kitted status.
I'm just saying I don't get it right now. Like normally I can like get it. Like I get
So
what teams are
for
going for. I
Blue
get
Otter's
why
attack,
they're doing things.
I
I
mean,
get why.
really the
like,
responsibility is
I can piece it
placed back
together
on
very
them
quickly. Like
to continue
I've
to
watched
make
games
enough
like pro
space
FPS games for
to have
20
the
years
advantage to
now,
work through the fight
which is why I can
left
break down
and
shit on the
right.
fly.
That post-plant team fight,
But like when I watch something like some of the plays that we've seen, which is why I'm saying like, damn, dude, he's just playing with so much aggression. He's like running up on these lines. The Haven reaggresses mid is like, he's just catching so many great timings right now against us. Like he really knows how we play or something.
over already. So trying to get on top of the end game and making sure you have enough to offer up until that point. Again, places a lot of individual responsibility on both Paint and Pancakes to hold their own until then. But if you can manage to hold on to enough people to throw at this issue, then yeah, the site control, they won't be all too worried about that. Blue's just gonna step onto A, unfettered, unfazed.
Fiddles for retake.
Okay.
Like he's playing
I do
top
want to
gen
break
with
this down.
this.
Paint, keep an
Big
eye on the
KO
waylay.
roll.
Conversion pass likely to be the first thing to start.
Here.
There it is,
So
right across
he
the
doesn't have
site.
Knives, yeah.
Hunter's Fury to counter. Salvo connects him. Yeah, I feel like the Salvo has connected for way too many kills to this point.
Great big round though.
Shopify trying to get their way in.
he won
How
classic.
does
What?
Fair get two right-click headshots?
What?
Fireball continues to pop off in key 1v1s. And now it's a 2v3. Fireball's not losing those. Stop challenging them. Monty on site. Doesn't matter. We're playing Call of Duty. We got a run and gun stinger. 9-8. Blue Otter. Steal away another one.
Yeah, you're in your element, man.
True.
I just don't
man.
get it.
I mean, the hero rifle isn't even unfair. Guy has a pistol, and he gets 2 kills on the drop down. Does any amount of analysis
That's crazy.
or returning to the playbook
Yeah,
or
I
timing
can't remember
out?
the last time I've watched
any
a
amount of that
Val game like this
work
and have felt this
when
way, like watching
Bluewater
one
denies
player.
you before you
I
even
haven't
get any of
either.
that
Like
started.
that's what I was saying. Like I don't.
I mean,
It's like I just don't even know what to say. Like because it's crazy the impact.
perfectly spaced. It just doesn't matter.
Everything.
Here we
is
go
around
again.
winning.
it's just the rails
Yeah,
are
like
off.
right here, he just
The gloves
up
are off.
dashes
Let's just
Jen
fight.
and just like is hunting that
And
guy.
Bluewater on site, finding the kills they need to get the post plant set
Like
up.
he is hard
And
carrying
BCJ's
him. Like
Paint are
hard
very far outside of the picture
carrying
here.
him.
Player standing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Total
Little dance,
total pile drive
little
this
wiggle.
round.
Yeah. 10-8 the count. Shopify gonna be back on their next purchase though. Feels like a must-win coming up.
Yeah, no, the mandatory round here for Shopify Rebellion. In what will be the last map for one of these teams. No getting out of that now. This will get etched in stone. Paint's gonna pick up this operator. So again, the big decision's still being made by Shopify Rebellion
let's
Black.
go,
They
Rob.
will try to make statement after statement here. And by the looks of it,
Either.
finally vie for some slightly heavier mid-control
Yeah,
in
that was
this
a big round.
pre-plant. Blue Otter
Paint on the alt.
focused on the B main. So again, so much responsibility on Pancakes to hold it down until Shopify can properly respond.
Walk up behind the cage.
Camera taken out. Tripwire destroyed.
No Pancakes.
Cage triggered.
Has a good cyber cage set up, but still can't win the one.
Damn.
Fair has been so
His
good.
Pathing is just so
These opening
goofy
duels.
as well, and it just like
It's gonna be a
one-tap
free B
shake and
site.
spawn.
That was insane.
You don't really have
Yeah.
anything to retake here
He's
for
just
Shopify
like hard
besides
carrying,
just the
I
raw
don't know.
power of the last 4 members alive.
Spike planted.
Fair's just been a demon. And he's unafraid at this point. Ascended at the front lines. Ready for this next entry. Knows a drone's coming. Doesn't care. Just peeks into the market. There's a short
Oh.
sight for you. BCJ can counter frag. Now you got a 4v4 on your hands.
Yeah, that doesn't really kill the time as much as Blue Otter were hoping it would.
No.
Bob's gonna have to hit a shot with an operator. There's the recon dart. Delete it immediately, but Bob does hit. BCJ also revealed and taken care of, and there's just nowhere for Spaz to go. Perfect post-plant hold. 11-8. Financial decision coming up for Shopify Rebellion. Do you force here, or do you save and play for OT?
No denial before. No action after. No steps properly taken. And again on this
That was a really good
Really
recon
weak
by the
buy
way. That
for
was a fucking great
Shopify.
idea. Recon that.
Yeah.
they'll have to let Bluewater make the majority of this of the decisions this round. And respond in kind. These players have to
Just
be more
running
ready
knife
to
out up
than
mid,
with
bro.
those rifles
Like,
already.
look at him.
You see Bluewater
Like
starting to
what?
try and find those new weaknesses
just
as
ranked.
soon as Shopify tries the new strats.
Oh, there's some information for Fair. Actually catches the shoulder as well. Trying to get the first before Paint can try to peek. Still does. Follow-up is decent, though. 4v4. Zeke
thought he was
not
gonna
quite
get
able to
two
help out for
there.
in trades
Same.
as he's operating
Same.
the Owl drone just to see what's over towards Tree. And Zostal actually may catch a little bit of timing here.
The two stingers have a lot of
Zeke
HP.
wall
Still
bangs onto
winnable.
Monzi,
Never mind, you got
and the A
code
site is very
repositioning.
vulnerable now.
You got 2 on, but so much space still there. There's Paint on the double swing for Spaz. They're trying to work off of each other. With this smoke
good.
peek.
Wow.
Spaz, that's a beautiful
nice.
wonder. That'll net him 2 on the way down.
Last player standing.
Oh, and then
Spike
Paint
down
connects
A.
with one of the most critical sheriff shots you could possibly hit. But it's Fireball. 1v2.
30 seconds left.
Goes to break the door. And the glass at the same time. Paint now with an operator.
This is a good
Fireball
by Paint.
remaining with 10
Good
bullets in the
reposition.
Vandal. There's the gun scene. And no problems
go.
there for Paint.
What an amazing
Shopify
shot by
collect the
Paint. What a
thrifty.
fucking 2K from
And the
Spaz.
length of this map feels a little bit more elongated all of a sudden.
Oh.
A breath of fresh air at the perfect time for Shopify to get their full reset going.
I don't know what you can do to
Forced
stop this
Blueotter
guy.
to panic a little bit again. That mid push was a little sloppy. Fair did not finalize the
Besides
kill in
opping mid
time.
maybe, but I don't think he's gonna
Did
just
lose his life
W key up
before
mid when they know they have an
Being able
op.
to take down his second. And the damage control from there, quite clean from Shopify. Able to get on top of that A push and some beautiful
The
work
rounds
from that
actually feel
smoke
so
from
much
Spaz.
easier though when Fair
Timeout
just
called by
isn't
Blueotter,
alive.
very
When he gets
justified.
traded
How
out at
heavily
the start of the round.
do you continue to try and
absurd,
press
bro.
mid here when Shopify clearly...
I've never seen a player like really take over the game like this, like in a while. Like this is like everyone's doing really well for Blueotter, but like Fair is really opening things up a lot. Like he is very aggro and catching us on like off timings. And I feel like even like the value he's getting from taking the space is like is just as valuable as the kills themselves. Like he's disrespecting a lot of util that honestly like puts him in very high risk areas. And most players just don't play like that. I don't know. He's literally getting so much value.
He's in mid 2 or market in the
You
first
got
like
knives out
15
for Fair
seconds.
this
of the
round.
Like that's where you're starting. Your mid
Decoy
default
is
from is
out.
within like
Paint.
market.
Well,
It's
reveals
crazy.
themselves. And an all drone to follow will have B control, at least B main control, going the way of Blueotter.
It's actually fearless too. Like just runs up mid
enough
even though
people
the
to
op
contribute
could
to this.
reposition to there. Just holding for the market peak.
Still checking the 9s though, seeing where the cipher could be set up. Zoe gonna toss this smoke into tree. Keep a nice audience over here.
You get site set up
Monzi's
though.
knives, so push can going pretty quick, but we'll just double back here. A lot of
Yeah. Oh,
that
I was just
big.
about to say, this is a lot of mid control. I think
Yeah, you
that's
were
why
waiting it out.
Blueotter are trying to try to get everything to go the
There's
direction
just so
of
much
Fair, but
relief in my heart.
I know.
defense, no need to rotate now.
I can't believe he even did that.
5v3 situation. Spaz has seen the head of Zeke. So again, Shopify Rebellion have information, but look how far back they're playing. Like, this is still a lot of space. The Spike's gonna be able to rotate in for free. You just have to clear out this position at window. You just have to teamwork it out. Take your numbers
Maybe all
advantage
the
and just
body? No.
take a 3v1 and out trade it.
Right, guarantee that there's one here overextended. They still haven't even guaranteed the plan. BCJ ain't even on the way back yet. Now he
I
will
can't
be.
even believe, I
I'm a
cannot
little
believe they
worried how
even let them
much
plan.
respect
Yeah,
they're giving him now.
this is again very
BCJ 's
reactive
pretty
coming
far
from
away.
Shopify. We'll see how far it gets him here. Now you
Yeah,
can
that
extend
big
back.
cam,
I mean,
it's
Zoe
not
still has
too
a
bad.
terrific position in the tree. Oh,
Unreal.
It's a better
What
one.
the fuck are we doing, man?
Plus a little bit of damage at the cross. You maybe wouldn't
What are we
expect
doing?
Zoe to be in this corner. Door will shut. And then immediately gets broken. Zeke off the reload. Bob can't really connect onto too much. Zeke only gets one. Just down to Zoe. 1v3 situation. Has an angle at the spike though from tree. Dark cover out. First
Nice,
shot not gonna
Amari.
land as Paint finds the connection.
Fuck.
And Shopify Rebellion will get us back to within one.
We certainly questioned when they took the fight, but they did, and they did win it. Keeping 3 standing, holding on to that operator as well. I respect Blueotter trying to find that mid control at the beginning of the round, but the issue is with all that passivity you have to do to foster that, you don't have any, you give Paint every reason to check that. So unfortunately, no movement, no distraction dancing in order to force Shopify to multitask, Paint to think on his feet, overutilize. From there, they'll be able to retake that A site confidently. Win that. They still haven't lost that confidence when it comes to being able to play that retake with this composition. Oh boy. Fun combination here with the Dimensional Drift and Hunter's Fury, though. Bob is going to give Zeke a free kill.
And then immediately get out of the Dimensional Drift and back away. Plus, you've got B-main control. Oh, and a follow-up.
Paint's on mid, though.
As Paint really can't get anything done there. Pancake's trying to get into the site. Nice shot from BCJ. Survives, gets back. Fair has gotten onto site, but the spike is going to re-wrap. Bob is also still holding. Are they just going to try to, get the free planet A?
Trapped in
Sure will. Isolation onto Pancakes. Or is it the other way around? Oh, goodness. And they know that Fair is on site still.
No!
This is! And Fair connects to punish. 3v1 for Pancakes. Truck dart. Follow up. Chunks him down to 71 health, but Zoe is low. Doesn't matter. Headshot lands, and Blueotter's on match point.
That was BCJ's moment. That was Shopify's read. They could turn this round back on its head.
We have shit about this game.
But Fair is able to get back over, and Blueotter maintains that advantage. After another tremendous opening from Bob, the first kill collapses into that map control thanks to Bob getting so far forward immediately. Turns it into the cut from mid as well. And that's the whole front half of the map guaranteed for Blueotter. From there, another snowball. We've seen it all too many times. And Shopify Rebellion Black, your stage 1 champions, are now 1 round away from getting eliminated without acquiring a single point this stage.
Is that true?
It would be a massive setback to their chances at ascension.
Is that actually
basically
true? I don't
forcing
think
them to
that's
have to
true.
win stage 3 in order to get there.
Yep.
And it would be an insane setback for the reputation of this team after their stunning playoff performance that we saw.
I haven't been listening to the casters, so I
That
don't
want
know.
to play, that passion, that need to win, it is there on this team. Where is it today?
I don't have an answer. We'll let that stay hypothetical. Critical, obviously, here for Shopify Rebellion. And we've got an early from the shadows.
Just a fake ult.
Or do we? No, we don't. Oh, Bob's found first blood today. BCJ can't hold here. Paranoia is out. There goes the Armageddon, but that's easily dodged. Fair's already on site.
Dude, this guy
BCJ
just
gets a
solo
turn
came
for
on
it.
site.
And that might be how Shopify Rebellion's hopes end in stage 2. Unless there's a hero play out of Paint or Spaz. Good reaction. Can swap away from the operator, but Fireball's there for the trade. Neural Theft will get the recon on Spaz's position.
Yeah, that was a weird ult by BCJ.
And
I
it
didn't
feels
like
like
it
just a
at
matter
all.
of time. There is just so much
Doesn't
that
really,
can
like,
stall out this play.
force
Time
them
is going
to
to be
do
an issue. The
anything.
1v4 already is an issue. There's the flash, but Spaz finds one. Teleports into the mix. Still has a paranoia. Not sure how much of that is actually going to land, and then just baits out the fake. And Bob just takes a straight shot. No worries. Blueotter.
All right.
Making the whole talent desk and our caster booth look very silly, as you're all predicted. Shopify
That's a
Rebellion
tilter, I'm
Black
not gonna
to
lie.
win this one, but
That's a giga tilter.
I'll tell you, that is not the Shopify Rebellion Black I expected to see today.
How
And
does this
Blueotter
even
punished the
work
mistakes
for,
that were
like,
being made.
the stages
Yeah, the
this
ceilings
year?
of the 5 players
Isn't there a stage 3 this year
There
before
is.
Ascension?
Yeah, there's another stage coming up. Let me see it.
I know it's like points based right now for these
Yeah.
stages.
I'm trying to find the points thing that I have. Actually, can't even find it. Oh, here it is. This is what I was given. So I think we're gonna get like 10 or 15 points, but
yeah,
I'm not like 100% sure. But yeah,
Basically, you guys just have to have another good like stage 3.
Yeah.
To balance it out.
Or we just have to win stage 3.
Yeah, obviously that's like easiest option for making it.
Yeah. It's just so fucking frustrating that that's how we fucking lost out.
Yeah, the way it happened.
Yeah. That was fucking insane to see. It was very frustrating, I'm not gonna lie.
Ascent, there was a lot more like kind of bullshit rounds. Like just the round where he's like dashing in, just killing everyone on B, like 2 or 3 times that happened. On Haven, it was more just the like overall way they were playing, just like really passive, super slow.
I also think we allowed them to do those things though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think to an extent, yes, like what you're saying is true, but we also fucking allowed that shit to happen with our playstyle and giving up a lot of space. I mean, Fair took that space like insanely well. Like,
yeah,
it's just fucking terrible. Yeah. Damn. So, tilter. Yeah. At least more time to reset. There's also a lot of stuff happening with, like, obviously all the roster shakeups. And that's, like, another thing that is happening, right? So behind the scenes, guys, there's a lot of these VCT teams that are knocking at the door. It's very annoying. And it's definitely... It's made things harder, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's made things way harder. It's hard when you're in challengers and when a VCT team comes knocking, it's like you don't want to keep a player on fucking... I was a player myself, so I don't want to keep people in contract jail. But it's also like our fucking goal here is to win challengers, and there's like... It's like impossible to retain players, and from a player perspective, like an ex-player perspective, jailing a player like that would be fucking crazy. No, you're wrong, Coco. Trust me. I mean, people said Brock was taken from our team when we literally bombed out of stage 3. We were at like all-time low. I promise you that, like, yeah.
Welcome back to Valorant Challengers League North America. I'm your host, Elizabeth, joined by Gompers and Ash. And we have seen Shopify Rebellion Black fall to some Blue Otters. A classic tale, well, actually not very classic at all, one that we did not see coming at all. I tried to do it. There was a fairy tale analogy somewhere in there, but I'm focused on Valorant, not creative writing. But Blue Otter, Gompers, take down Shopify Rebellion Black, proving, or making us on the desk, on the casting desk, feel a little bit silly about our predictions.
It was honestly, like, again, Shopify, they have such a good resource of, you know, support systems and, like, just being able to even, like, sit together in boot camps and, like, really work things out. So, like, in terms of that, you would expect them to have the leg up, and it felt like everything was just crumbling apart. It was, you know, the lack of re-clearing angles and, you know, just losing out on fights because their guns are pulled out. The fundamentals aren't there. And then also taking 1v1s that they shouldn't be taking, letting rounds slip, you know, And there were moments where like there were really, really good clears coming through from BCJ. I thought BCJ like again had tons and tons of potential to really keep this team going on that Tejo. But I don't know, like at some point it really did start to slip, and you know, from a very, very good retake play from BCJ, then it just everything just started falling apart on everyone's ends. And you know, it was such a close game, so I can't really say it wasn't the best, but at the same time it was just, you know, not the Shopify that we know.
You can still say it's not the best. We can be honest on the best here. It's okay. It's chill. It's totally chill. I think that, you know, for SRB, the expectations were there for a reason. There's a reason.
All right, guys, I'm gonna dip out. Yo, Mike, I'm gonna dip out. I can't stick around for the next game. Actually, promised Gemma I would take her to go get light up shoes, and I'm not even trolling. So well, I gotta go run and get them. But also,
at least that'll be a chill experience.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be a chill experience.
GG's though. Sorry it played out this way.
Yeah, it's not your fault, bro. Of course, but I appreciate you saying sorry. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Like I said, I just haven't seen some shit like that since like 3 years ago.
Yeah, like since like literally the old FaZe days, like watching like Baby Bay and Corey. That's what it felt like. It felt like I was watching like old FaZe play again. It was insane.
But only like one of them.
Yeah, like only one. Yeah, only one of them. Thanks, Oliver, for that sub.
All right,
appreciate
GG's. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
GG's, bro. Are you streaming right now?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you going live?
No way.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Let's see. Go do that. I'm gonna send you guys to Cavern, just because he's watching the games chat. So I'll send you guys to Cavern, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. It might be for EMEA, but let me see. EMEA starts what, the 8th, right? That's what we said. Yeah, I should be able to make it tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might have to take a meeting or two. But yeah. All right, cool. See everyone tomorrow. Bye. Or maybe the next day.